Oh, let me just lower that down, chat. Have some fun tonight. Welcome to a very chill impromptu stream where we're gonna do some Q&A style, pack ripping style, Lego building style stream. Because I'm bored and I want to get drunk, and why not make fun of all the stupid shit going on and chill out? What the fuck am I doing, guys? Welcome to the stream. Oh no, man. Oh no, shit's been wild. And I gotta blow off some fucking steam, right? Things behind the scenes have been tough. It's not that I had to take my cat to the vet. Or that I had to pick him up from the vet. It's rough. I might have to drink another beer. It's pretty good stuff. Oh, yeah, no, it's been rough out there, right? Right, things have been going wrong. Phil got grilled real fucking hard. It's been rough. Shit's been rough. And we're gonna go and enjoy the experience tonight. It's gonna be a good time. Oh boy. I even have some balatro lined up for later too. It'd be sweet. It'd be sweet, yeah. Oh, welcome. We got everything lined up for you. I got everything going. We don't even need another advertisement back there. Just keep that going. Some impromptu style streaming. You're playing balatro. That's pretty good. You want to use a breadstick? And that? Oh, okay. I like breadsticks. Let's go. You're playing Marvel Spider-Mans? That's pretty cool. I like that. We're chilling tonight, guys. I got the bummer glasses on because I wanted to, shield myself from the bad vibes out there. All the negative things going on in my life, and I just want to focus on having a fun, positive experience tonight. Okay? So I think we'll start it off because we got a Lego set that Mrs. Proper said I could use for just this stream. Yeah. It has an 8+ on the box, and I think that means it's going to take 8 hours to do this whole Lego set. It's 216 pieces, and it's a flower, because I like flowers, because I like smoking weed. Okay, well, that's great. I think that's how it works. I'm not quite sure how everything goes. We might need multiple streams, though. Maybe. I think there's 3 flowers in the box, okay? Right? I think. What? No, there's 4. I'm sorry. Can't count. I don't know. Maybe one just, went ahead and got us good. I don't know. And then also for our Q&A chill segment right now, I got a little thing lined up for you, okay? I can't just do the normal Q&A blah, 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 okay? It's just too boring. Sorry, Jim. But we'll bring it up. Sorry, Mr. Dr. Love Sax. Giving you the smooth jazz feels. We got Snort Hogan here, giving us an hour video. So that's how long our chill is going to be, okay? Hour. 1. But Phil is going to get grilled, and we're going to laugh about it because I was way too hammered to appreciate it the first time around. Because I normally get drunk and then laugh at all the dumb shit going on. And it was good. It was a good time. I enjoyed it, yeah. And now I'm going to relive the moment because apparently Incel Manifesto is right there, and it feels good. Let's get started. Turn it up. Make sure it's all the way up. So if you need to ask me some Q&A questions, just at me in the chat, okay?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. We already have technical issues.
4 streams, maybe if we're gonna finish this entire box of MVP hockey.
How shitty is my mic, Phil?
Okay.
Your mic actually sounds good, and I actually have it on screen.
Look it.
No, it actually looks good.
Okay.
Can't believe it.
You buy them at the store or online.
A half hour of me
They cost,
ghosting,
this one, I think it was $65, okay?
Made it to the show.
And,
yeah.
Let's go.
The big return
they
show.
get a lot of cards in there, okay? We got plenty of packs.
PPP. Finally, PPP has returned to Smart Guys.
Oh boy.
Right. No one misses me. I never leave. I'm always here. But
What
you're
do you
coming
call
back.
Chad?
with
Is he
Bill,
PPP?
Vacation,
Triple
bud.
P?
You gotta go to the
do you
zoo
call
or
it?
whatever.
The zoo.
That's what they're
Okay.
saying. You gotta go to the zoo, buddy.
Gotta go to the zoo. For some
Call
reason,
him
this is like a
Ashton.
thing. They
Ashton's
want me
good
at
name
the
for
zoo with
him.
my wife, documenting every
guy.
moment.
Say you were gonna go to the zoo with your wife, Bill.
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
He also said he was gonna
Why didn't you go?
fix the dishwasher
Because we
with the
didn't get
stream
there.
where
For
he
whatever
like
reason, I don't
earned
even remember
money
An
for
originally.
it.
hour away, Phil.
I know, it's not even an hour.
Captain Alex.
Being a
Ahoy, I
mostly
see.
lazy piece of shit like me.
Try
And
just.
not showing up on time.
Oh, we got
Phil?
trash.
Well,
okay.
for me, it's
It's a
because
Pierre Luc
life gets in the way.
Du
But
Bois?
for you, it's because
Oh yeah,
wireless
he's a
gets in the
Kings
way.
player. Oh yeah, there you go.
Listen, this fucking Lesbo Lack showed up to the zoo. Why can't you?
Oh, I didn't even know
And
that. Again, I'm
I don't know.
so out of the loop
I
with all
don't
that
care. Just don't care. No one cares.
No
one cares.
You're
Kevin Fowler? No. He's a Kings player. No, I'm a Sharks fan. Right back to the
Oh,
garbage
and I
can it
didn't.
goes.
He
okay?
didn't. He got nothing. He
Don't
got
care.
no.
Snake,
Oh.
buddy.
He
I
got
think we
no
got a,
sword back. He got
I
nothing.
know it
Nothing
does
at all.
from the
More
Islanders.
money he sent to this Lesbo.
There we go.
What are we
Nah.
doing,
We're
bud?
on our
You
first
gotta wonder
pack.
whose money it is.
We got an
Actually,
under the
the
scope
amount
card.
that he's dropping
Oh,
at this
boy.
point, it's like where's
Hold up, guys. Look it. I got an under the scope card, dudes. Look at this. It's Kucherov. It's a sweet pull, bro. It's not as good as a John Cena, but I'm sure we'll get to that later. Oh, I actually bought these cards because I just wanted to fucking pull them. I wanted to start collecting some hockey cards. It's great. Oh, yeah. And then Brady Kachuk. Yep, round them out. Cool. It's a good time. It's a good time. You should get a hobby like that. I like collecting things. A couple different things. Steins. I like collecting, Mr. Toad stuff from Disney. And, yeah. Now hockey cards.
Is that money coming from? I don't know if it's where it could it possibly even be from his
Are
job.
you saying it's from Epstein or something, Phil? What are
Maybe.
you saying?
It could be like some
No.
Middle Eastern oil money or something.
No.
Yeah.
No, Phil, no. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, well, we're back here on Smart Guys Momentous Occasions.
Anyway, all right, here we go.
John Rambo comes to you. Phil, come on,
look,
man.
he's opening
Sorry,
cards.
dude.
Who? John who? I don't know who the fuck that is. Anyway, here we go. The
Not your
first
best
pack
friend?
ever
You
of
left her in
Top
Connecticut?
Chrome 2025 collectible
go.
cards. Here we go. What are we
boy.
gonna have in the pack? It's supposed to be 4 cards per pack. Here we go.
Really do.
pretty
We need
good.
That money. Come
4
on,
need
cards per
come
pack.
on. We need that money.
I got
Mine
bills
were
to pay,
8.
man. I got bills to
We
pay.
got bills to pay.
Here we
We got
go.
bills to pay.
So here's what it looks like. All right.
Oh.
There's some writing on there. I don't know what that means. Like some robot writing on the pack. All right. First card. Ooh, it's a Legends card, it looks like. Looks like a Legends.
Ooh,
All right.
it's a Hogan.
Who
It's
is
a
it?
Hogan.
Who is it? It is John Cena.
Ooh, it's actually a pretty good Cena.
It's like a chrome Cena. I don't know if it's any good.
Aren't all
Yeah,
the
I don't
chrome-
know.
It's just that's the pack, right?
You'll learn, just
Huh.
like with
Weird.
WWE champions. You'll learn.
It's 16, John Cena. I don't know if it's any good or not. Actually, I got to put on my reading glasses. I can't even read anymore because I'm old, like old fart.
Those are
Here we
scary.
go, put on my-
Oh no, not geriatric Phil again.
So it says, hold on. It says,
That's
Sorry,
light
boy,
razzing,
Mr.
okay?
Positivity. I'm trying, bro.
called the greatest of
Keep
all
trying,
time by
Ashton.
legendary
That's
WWE
the
announcer
problem
Michael
here,
Cole.
is that
John
Phil-
Cena has seemingly done it all in
Phil
WWE.
will never be entertaining. I'm sorry, chat.
Yeah.
His
He's
Hall of
only
Fame
entertaining to
worthy
assholes like
career,
me and you,
I've
who
seen
like
him
to laugh
capture
at
the
him for the dumb
WWE
shit
World
he does.
Championship 16
Like otherwise,
times along the way.
good luck.
It's just a bunch.
Can't
It's just like
drag him there.
stroking John
Can't make
Cena.
him
That's
go
all it
there.
is. It doesn't
It's
really
near
say
impossible.
anything. Topps Chrome. I think it's just a regular card. I don't think that's a special one. or
Is
anything.
it like Pokemon or whatever, where you can it has abilities or something, or is it
No.
like Yu-Gi-Oh? Or
It's literally just like a little description on there. It's nothing special. Just like a paragraph that's like strokes Cena's ego. So, all right.
It's
So there we go.
probably, like,
There's the first.
where
Second
the card was made from. Like, that's the
So it says
picture
from
of the storyline or something. Like,
SmackDown.
little synopsis.
It's a modern SmackDown superstar. It's
what the fuck?
Piper Niven, but it's in black and white. Why is it in black and white?
What?
It's actually like
'Cause
it's weird. It's like a I don't know if it's a
that's a nice
special
pull.
card or not. See that? It's like black and white Piper Niven.
Are they all like chromium?
This
Like,
one,
is that how all of them are?
this one is just like silver. See, it doesn't really have that effect. This one does have like a chromium effect to it. So maybe this is a rarer card. I don't know.
Oh
Piper-
God, it's Cat.
Oh, no.
How dare you?
Oh,
but the
no.
bummer is it's Piper Niven. That's the problem. Like it's fucking
I
Piper
know,
Niven,
right?
dude. So
like,
it's
who gives a shit.
Even if it was like the best card, it's not going to be worth anything. So, Unos did a $5 super
Damn,
chat.
it's like the super
Phil
good
in
of this.
PPP, did you hear that
Fantastic.
RTU has threatened King Sly T, who's a black creator, with slurs, and then he threatened Grace Thorp with a shotgun?
Yeah, Rich just ran away from like talking to Grace, Grace's dad,
Tom.
and he just flat disconnected.
Who the fuck are you to call
Rich
him
is
that?
dragging himself
I
down,
don't
just
know.
falling
You know,
down.
that's-
Yeah,
tumbling
wait a
down.
minute.
And
You can't. If
You got
I
nothing,
mean, that's
man.
totally. Listen,
You can't even
if you're gonna
dunk
call
on
someone that,
DSP
you
at
have
this
to be
point.
in that situation.
That's
You know
a-
what I mean?
that's a
Like if it
low
was another
spot.
black guy calling in that, I would
If
totally
you can't
understand
dunk on
it. But why the
DSP,
hell is he
keep
saying
stepping.
that?
I don't
You're
know.
drowned.
Rich is
You're
just
drowned.
seething because this guy
Should've
blew
just
him the
sucked
fuck
it up
out
and
with
stayed in
facts
king.
and logic. The guy came with receipts and
Fucking
evidence to
stupid.
back up his points, and Rich was just a blubbering, retarded fool who started seething, and then he decided, okay, well, I'm going to make it political, and it ended up backfiring on him, and now there's a bunch of backlash because he called this guy an Uncle Tom.
What a dunce.
And it's just the guy has a disagreement with Rich. It doesn't mean that he's shucking and jiving for massa on the plantation. And by the way, Rich, it is fucked to take anybody who's right-leaning, who's black, and call them an Uncle Tom. It really robs agency from black people. Not like I'm the biggest champion of black people, but like it really does take their agency away to say, no, you can only be on the Democratic plantation. You know, that's where it's fucked, Rich. But then Rich, like the lunatic that he is, invited the Thorps to his house, which, what are you thinking, Rich?
And somebody bought him a shotgun
what
or
are you
something.
thinking,
I
bro?
don't know, man.
What are
The
you
whole
thinking?
scenario's fucked. To be
Like, don't
honest,
do
yeah.
that. Well, then, of course, it doesn't work out, and he cancels on them, but they don't give a fuck, because they're out for content. So they come to his fucking house, they're streaming outside his house. So what does Rich do? Well, he escalates it even more. He goes out and buys a shotgun, which he's not even legally allowed to have in the state of New York, because he's a medical marijuana holder. And so I imagine it was his father who bought this shotgun. But Rich admits to being very mentally ill. He's on a plethora of medications that make him an irresponsible gun owner. And, you know, I'm big in favor of the Second Amendment. You know, I believe that anybody should be able to get a gun and defend themselves. But one person who I might make an exception for would be Rich of Review Tech USA. I'm not sure he can handle the responsibility of being a firearm owner.
Should be like a 220
fucking
test,
nuts.
pretty much.
He's fucked in the head.
People
He's
think
a
I'm
big
joking.
220.
People think I'm joking when I say that that man is mentally ill, but I'm not joking. Like, his actions prove that he is not right in the head. I mean,
Okay.
the things he does, just in regards to me, his level of obsession with me, I built this Lego behind him. So what did he have to do? He had to run out and buy the same fucking Lego set and build it. Just because I built it.
That's because
There
he's
was
got
no rhyme or
nothing,
reason to
dog.
it. He just had to.
Rich got nothing.
Because that's who he is.
And he's got to show up
So, I
and
mean,
build these
he's not-
Legos and hope and pray
Dude,
the
this
detractors
guy
come and
weapons is-
side
oh
with him
my
and
God,
laugh
well,
at Phil.
That's I don't know
Well,
and it
anything
ain't
about
happening.
that.
I don't think he could have.
Dewey ain't
fought.
saving him.
And I believe
Sly
there's
ain't
a
saving him.
6-month waiting period.
Jill Murray ain't saving him. None of the
So I'm not
homies ain't
really
coming
sure
back for
how
Rich.
this
Rich is
weapon was
drowning.
obtained.
Yeah.
If you're
It
chilling
had
there
to
with
have
Rich,
been
you
Rich's
better fucking think about
father
it. You
or
might want
mother
to fucking
or
dip.
somebody else. Like they have like 10 people
be
living
honest.
in that house, like it's a fucking ghetto or something like this, crammed in under the floorboards. Somebody in that house acquired it, or maybe Rich just took an image off Google. I don't fucking know. But from what I understand, he shouldn't be able to have that firearm because he has a medical marijuana card, and the state of New York disqualifies you. We'll see what ends up
It
happening.
has
with
nothing.
all
Rich
of
has
that.
nothing to do
I
with this.
think
It's just a
always bad
subject to
idea
bring
to
up. And I think
escalate that
PPP is going
shit.
to do
Right,
this
right.
on
And I feel like
for-
he should
for
just ignore
purpose.
them and try and move on with his life, but he has to get the win because he's a big,
mean,
tough guy.
If Duty's going to carry the sword for Rich, it's a lost cause, dude.
He's the mob boss. The
You're
New
like,
York
it ain't
mafioso.
going to help anybody
It's
there.
time
dude.
to get a
And
grip,
I think
bro.
Duty knows
You know
it.
what I mean? Like, you're
So.
a 400-pound nerdy fucking guy.
But
like,
if you
let's
want to
all
walk
just
it,
get
you
a
got to
grip
walk
here.
it. You know who you're in bed.
Let's go into some grill, Phil. Phil, what's going on, man? So,
I like how he turns on the
yesterday,
little fire effect for a
we
bit.
had
He's
a
like, yeah, look at
pizza
that. It looks
party.
good, dude.
It was great.
a pizza party.
It was
By
delicious.
myself.
And I noticed that for your pizza party, you ordered Domino's.
Oh, like the little zip
pizza.
gun? Yeah,
That's
I saw that.
incorrect.
He
I
got
ordered
that
Papa
too.
John's pizza, actually.
Was it Papa John's pizza, Phil?
It was Papa John's, yes.
My question is, you really couldn't find anything better than Papa John's pizza?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're supposedly this Italian man, you know, who has this amazing.
You can't find one spot that might, have
yet here you
something
are,
decent for him.
For your fans, their reward, you cheap out and you get this shitty Papa John's pizza from a chain, Phil? Really?
Damn.
Yes. Well, I mean, first of all, to be completely transparent here, I live in Washington State. There is sadly no authentic Italian in Washington.
Dude, you got to find the local
the
spot,
Italians
right?
Are on
Either
the
they
East
got
Coast
like
of the
the
U.S., not on the
slice,
West.
or they got something that's good.
Phil. No, it's not.
Like a nice cooler full of beer.
No
I'll bring me through the
Italian
door.
people in Washington
Decent pizza.
State.
Me. There's me.
There are
That's
fucking
it.
Italians everywhere, Phil. This is
I haven't
such
seen
a
any.
fucking cult, bro.
can't
Papa
find
John's
any.
is pretty mid, dude.
This is such bullshit.
As far as
I
I'm
went-
concerned. What's up, kitty?
There's not one pizza
Listen to
place
this. Listen to
in
this.
this area.
When I first moved here over a decade ago, there was a restaurant. They
I'd rather have
claimed the
Domino's
chef
stoned
was like
than
an
Papa John's
Italian
stoned.
guy who flies to
That's
Europe
me.
every year to learn Italian recipes.
Just like you.
They brought me a plate of pasta. I ate it.
God.
It tasted like fucking Mexican food. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is not Italian.
It tasted like Mexican food.
Yeah. It had this wrong
Like
seasoning.
Papa John's
the
ain't
wrong
that
sauce.
bad.
Like, what is
Like,
this?
I'm
This
just saying, it's
nasty
mid.
shit. It's like fusion.
Like it's
eating
a
or
6 out of 10, dude.
And there's
Every
a couple
time,
restaurants out
consistently,
here that
6
are
out of 10.
okay,
Like if you're in the
but
mood
there
for
is
some quick,
nothing
easy
that's
pizza, and you
close
go, hey man, Papa John's.
to authentic
You're in.
Italian
Go grab
that
that,
I've
grab a
had
six
yet
pack of
since I've
beer,
lived
some
here.
of
There
the
are
junk,
some good pizza
sit
places,
down,
but they're not
watch,
authentic
that
Italian.
being
Like
said,
there's
from earlier today,
a
Let's say
brick
this,
oven
Phil.
place that's really
You'll
good.
enjoy it.
Go ahead.
You're coping, Phil. It's okay. Let me just ask you,
Fucking dude.
do you think it's a bit sad
That's great.
that you're doing a Papa John's pizza party alone in your mid-40s to strangers
It
online?
is fucking sad.
No, absolutely not.
Why?
It
Well,
beats
how is that
beats
not
doing
fucking
it,
sad,
It beats
man?
doing it when I was alone
Shaq
and not
does
doing it for the
own-
internet. That's for sure.
A good chunk of Papa John's.
At
I don't
least
know
I'm
if it's the
sharing with
majority
someone on
stick
the
right
internet,
now,
right?
but
No, you know,
nowadays, quite a
that
bit.
food. You know, we ordered a
It's all
bunch. My wife had some,
investments.
and, you know, it was
Good
just a
job,
meal
Shaq.
for us. But I did the DSP tries it as well.
But just like, because what you did in tandem with it, you bought Ninja Turtles?
That's right.
Yeah,
Of course.
He bought a skin.
Phil, you're
He bought the
playing with
Raphael
Ninja
skin.
Turtles?
Hell yeah. And I love Ninja Turtles. Well, I like the old Ninja Turtles.
Phil, you're fucking 43 years old, and you're loving Ninja Turtles? Bro, come on.
I don't know if there's
No,
anything wrong
but
with
I
liking
love the
Ninja
classic
Turtles,
Ninja
man.
Turtles. I hate
But,
that
like,
there's 17 versions of Ninja
playing it
Turtles. I
on
haven't watched
stream,
anything
making
since,
that
like,
a
the 90s.
pizza
So these
party,
are like the
like,
1990s
opportunity for your
movie Ninja Turtles that they
fucking
put into Call of Duty.
wheelchair
So I
chat
bought some of the
members is
skins
fucking
and the
stupid
weapons
and
and stuff
demanding a
to have
bunch
like a
of
little
money for it.
celebration
It's
stream
fucking
for my
I thought
fans
you
here.
were playing as what,
Keep in mind-
Michelangelo?
No, Raphael. How'd you get it
Doesn't
all
even watch
wrong?
stream. But keep in mind, I want to get it straight, and I think this is kind of one of those things why I wanted to do this stream, is because I get to sit here and take it long form and channel a little bit of my inner GTG. Big ups, my guy. It give little stopping points to this shit. Like, Phil has zero identity. There is no self-worth for him. He doesn't understand who he is, what he is, how he is. He doesn't get himself, period. And that's why he copies and pastes from other people and their mannerisms. Look at his bullshit in the background. Look at Ashton's bullshit in the background. Look at Ashton's titties. Look at Phil's fucking titties. See, he copies people as he interacts with them one-on-one. He picks up their laughs, their goofy mannerisms, the way they talk. He copies everybody's things that they laugh at, their fucking silly jokes, their poop nonsense. I'm surprised he hasn't picked up a coke habit from fucking Warski snorting a brick after brick. But still, what Phil has is nothing. He is nothing. There is no worth to him. If you have any worth to him, you are using him to step on him and move. Let me make that clear. Do what Darkside Drill did. Step on Phil and move. And make it your best move. But the thing is that shit's fucked here for Phil. He has nothing. His audience is the mirror of himself. And don't mistake it, because you guys out there watching me right now are a mirror of me. I see that. That's how it works. That's how you build a community. That's how you influence a, culture that you're involved with. Like the vortex. It's real fucking stupid. But you got to pay attention to what people do and how they act in your community. And don't be afraid to clean it up if you need to. Phil recently did that whole call of action to Lex. Did that whole fucking thing. And I know he gets grilled later about it. But I think I clocked out before that. But we'll have to watch it. But it's this thing where Phil doesn't understand what he does impacts his community, the culture that he fucking makes, the people that he influences. He doesn't get any of that because he doesn't understand the person he is at this point. It's crazy. I mean, he's got obviously, right? Obviously, that came from fucking somewhere. That was Cat. You know, the puppet laugh, the little snicker. Oh yeah, the Ernie laugh. It's all over the place. The only thing that's original from Phil is him jerking off online and having the ack fucking laugh. That's it. Everything else, and maybe the snorts. Because those have been around for a fucking long time too. But it's insane. It's insane is what we're at.
It was Raphael with the size. And when he stabs you double stab, like in your nipples, and he lifts you up like this. It's a hilarious animation.
But don't you think that eventually people should move on from their childhood?
Absolutely.
You know, like, this is getting a bit crazy. Ninja Turtles in 2025, I don't know. I don't know, Phil.
I thought it was a fun event. The viewers seemed to like it, so it was all good. And the pizza was actually okay. It wasn't great. It was just okay. So
we got to get you a real pizza, Phil. All right. Let's move on.
What's up, Machero? I'm looking forward to your new season, buddy.
All right.
I hope you have some bangers.
What's going on with Iron Chef Sakai?
Honestly,
Sakai, whatever you want to call it.
If you want to know the truth, from my perspective, I don't know and I don't really care. Here's what happened. Here's what happened from the perspective of the stream. Okay.
Like Adam Copeland?
So there was one night
on him?
And I was streaming. And for some reason, actually, I don't know why this has been happening because it's happened a few times now. Kick actually chose to put me on the front page and highlight me for like a half an hour, something like that. Okay.
Why? I don't know why do that?
I have no clue.
What do you mean you don't know why? It's because you're the greatest streamer alive, Phil.
Yes, of course. Because the guy who's playing like a game about digging a hole. That's actually the name of the game. It's an indie game. I'm sure that really puts the butts in seats on Kick. It's going to get new viewers to watch me fucking dig in the middle of the backyard, right?
Why are you doing that then, Phil?
Because it's just something random and fun to do. People wanted an indie game, and I said, we'll just do it for one night. And we did, and it actually worked out. It was like a nice chill.
Yeah, I'm playing Balatro later, guys. Because it's an indie game I like.
You're very consistent.
I also just
6 days a week.
got Slay the Spire for like $8.
Long. So I imagine they would want.
I've been hooked to that game the last like 4 nights in a row
to get more eyes on those hours. But it's not been working. It's not been growing.
I don't know whose hole is bigger, Phil's or
do it. I get an influx of like 100, 200 extra people, and we do get some new people.
Whatever happened to that guy? He disappeared.
But then basically, they stick around.
Might
for
be like the Lisa Lusock or some shit.
Like
that's about it.
People are really not coming to Kick for the kind of content that I put out, right? Like Kick is known for certain kinds of content.
Gambling?
Let me just put it to you this way: do you think that Iron Chef Sakai is your slave?
My slave? No, of
course.
course.
Yeah, or do you think he's like your prostitute working a corner for you, or?
No, he's just his fucking bitch.
I actually don't even know what his name is.
Are you the pimp, or like, because it seems to me,
you show up, and take his money, and tell him to fucking shut up.
That you want. But it seems to me you're pretty seething and salty that Iron Chef Sakai is giving you what you perceive as your money to this woman.
That's correct.
All. I could care less. In fact, with Iron Chef Sakai, it was kind of a weird thing. This was not like a guy who I knew of.
I know he gets around to other places
for like a long time and supporting. He kind of like showed up out of nowhere one day last year and just started supporting like big. And
Iron Chef showed up in like October,
and then he would come back
I believe.
3 months later and drop another big contribution. I was like, okay, maybe he's one of those people who only watches occasionally. And then all of a sudden, back in the fall,
and then
he started
Kino
dropping a lot,
and
like
then he started
streams. I was like, whoa. And it got to the point where he was like, well, I'm on all your streams. I'm contributing a lot. Could I be a mod? And I was like, hey, I guess he's never shown me any reason not, to make him a mod. He's on a lot of my streams. So, I moderated him and everything. And then all of a sudden in December, I noticed his attitude toward me started to change. Like he started to say a lot of snide remarks, a lot of insults, almost like underhanded insults in the chat. And I let it slide. I'm like, whatever, it's not a big deal. And then this one day he just went nuts. Like he was like outright insulting.
But it is a big deal. You banned him and yelled at him. What are you talking about?
I called him out for it.
Like how retarded are you,
dude?
Phil?
You're like killing the vibe of the stream. Everyone's noticing.
Like the dude just went, "Hey
like
man,
now.
like check
and
out
he
our
really
stream.
just
It's
had
pretty
nothing
cool."
much to say besides that he didn't like my content anymore. And I was like, then how could you be a moderator?
He gave her like 5K.
So I demodded him.
Yeah,
He
you're
went
right.
nuts.
It's
He
been
did
about
this
5K so
ranting,
far.
raving stream about how he hates me and all I care about is money and all this stuff. And so,
true.
Of course, everyone knows that. So then after that, he was gone for a long time. Like he was gone for about a month, I would say, maybe. And then all of a sudden, one day, he comes back.
It's a
Now,
very
he had been
interesting
banned.
exit from the vortex if this actually goes through and Iron Chef never comes back.
Okay.
It's an interesting exit.
What's going on with this Lex girl? You called her a slut.
Okay.
Now you're saying you're not upset, but you called her a slut. Go ahead.
So I don't know anything about this woman at all. I've literally.
Then why did you call her a slut?
Okay, I'll tell. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you why I called this bitch a slut, because I've never met her, and some people told me about her weird streams that where one pay piggy of mine gave her a bunch of money, and I was really salty and grumpy about that because he went over there and talked shit about me and my streams and my community without me being allowed to express myself over there in a fair manner, okay? I mean, that's how it works for Phil and Phil's brain, but that's not the fucking reality. Phil doesn't control nor care, right? I don't care what happens to anybody out there away from my streams, right? I don't care that Derek had little girl playlists. I don't care that he had a bunch of pornography on his Twitters. And by Twitters, I mean like 13 fucking social media accounts. It was more than credit cards for Phil during his bankruptcy, which is fucking amazing. But Phil, sight unseen, called Lex a slut. Now, I don't know about you, but I only call girls sluts if they like it in the bedroom, man. Otherwise, I ain't calling anybody a slut unless they my friend and I'm like, what up, slut? And, that's very rare. And, it doesn't happen too often. But Phil goes sight unseen. This chick's a fucking slut. She was doing squats, and it was lewd, man. And it was, And all these people leaned into her sexuality. Like, I saw it on the farms. That was fucking sad as fuck. Nobody cares about her sexuality. She can be asexual for all I fucking care. The fact that she handled the vortex dropping into her lap so well shows you that people can accept how weird this place is and just move on with their lives. Like think about it. She might have seen something floating around in, detractor landscape in, who is this guy? Click, click, click. Dark Side Phil. Boom. First, detractors. Guy jerked off. Detractors. Bankruptcy. All the negative shit you see first before you even know who Dark Side Phil is. And you gotta go and pick one. I don't know where the starting point is anymore. June Doc? Down the rabbit hole? You can take anything and try to package Phil's 16-year existence up and never make it. I can't even fucking do it. It would take me fucking 2 years to try to put something comprehensive together. I think the closest I've seen done is Ex Mortis. Who fucking does it over there. He kind of did it. And I don't know if he makes them anymore. I haven't checked it out in a while, but he was cataloging everything, and it was fucking interesting. But for the most part, Phil's just infamous for jerking off. And then he calls somebody a slut. But again, he's showing his feet, he's showing his underwear, he's doing shit for money. He does all the e-thought tactics in the world. I'm surprised he doesn't have an only tards. Because that's the only people who are going to pay money for his fucking nudes.
Because this is what happened. I don't know who she is. I don't really know her content. I've never watched her. I've never heard her. None of it.
Shit, bro.
None.
You're full of shit.
I literally have. In fact,
I'm glad PPP
I've never
went
said
in
on
on
name.
this.
I really am.
Because it's fucked.
So
what Phil did is
basically what's happening
Period.
is this is what happened with Iron Chef Sakai again. So he gets back in my good graces. He apologizes, says he will never act like that again, starts contributing again. So he's back on the streams. He's asking me to become a mod again. I'm like, no, there's no way anyone's going to trust you as a mod. I won't. No one will. After the way you acted, you can't get your sword back, right? but he continued to show up and support. So all of a sudden one
I mean, Phil
night,
does
I get
deserve
on the front page of Kick.
that kind of talk.
I guess at
That's
the
for
same
sure.
time that I was on the front page of Kick, they also put whoever this woman is on the front page of Kick.
Lesbo Lex, yeah.
So Iron Chef Sakai goes over there and starts watching her. And then he comes into my chat and he's telling everyone in my chat, hey, everyone, here's what she's doing. You should go check her out. And I was like, dude, that's
I think
obviously against
TBS
the rules. You can't be
brought up
advertising
stuff
someone
today
else's content
about this,
Why
like
not?
in a
receipts on
competing
what
stream.
Iron
Because
Chef
it's
said.
business. That's
And it was
that-
nothing
Well,
near
just
to what it was.
So
I
you
remember.
are upset. You
I'm-
are upset.
Oh, yeah,
because of your
PPP
money,
eating good now.
because you
Oh, not the
can't
money.
advertise.
Oh, call him out.
Oh, the viewership.
Call him out. Now PPP
That's
has
right.
to deal with the
Let me put it
deflect.
this way.
Seething about the viewership.
Well, welcome
or
to
the money,
Detractor
'cause you're
Life,
saying,
PPP.
It doesn't matter.
It's hard to
but
fucking
you
work
can't
with Phil.
advertise a streamer in your chat, so it does matter.
There
Phil.
is no advertisement of anyone in my
Of
chat.
course
But
Phil's
it's always
gonna
been the
work
rule.
that shit
That's
to
like
his
the
needs.
equivalent of walking into a Subway with coupons handing out
Sandwich
for,
shop?
Papa John or
Papa John's.
what's that one? Jimmy John's,
Well, why
right?
can't? But why would it be so wrong in the community? Go, hey, I saw this streamer and they were good.
Oh, that's
would
okay.
be
See,
so wrong with
here's
that?
here's the thing. That would be fine. This literally was the entire stream. He's sitting there and he's talking about her, and he's actually trying to convince viewers to go check her out. And then they
What?
are, and then they're coming
That's
back to my
totally
chat
not what
to
happened
talk
at all.
about it. It's like,
No,
but
not
that's
at
not
all.
what my
That
stream
didn't
is. I don't want
happen
to
at
hear
all.
about another streamer.
No.
I'm trying to have a good time with my
No.
audience.
No.
So
Or as he said,
basically
hey,
completely
check-
derailed the
The
stream.
fact
Or, I mean,
that- the fact that Iron
Iron
Chef
Chef.
Sakai was sprinkling
Fucking same, no
untold
different, same,
thousands
cut,
of
cut.
dollars on this woman's head
Mhm.
had nothing to do with you calling her a slut.
No, not at all.
You've not seen any of her content.
Nope.
You don't know anything about her, but you
I-
just chose to call her a slut
I
for
only-
no reason.
All I know about her is what he said in the chat that night. That's what I know about her.
Then, so what did he say that led you to call her a slut?
He said that on stream, her content is that she basically does aerobics on camera in a very provocative way to get people to throw her money.
So you're calling
What?
her a slut. Are you aware that you show your feet in underwear for money, Phil?
That's nice.
Of course. Oh, frequently,
And
right?
she- and
No,
she
I
does it,
don't.
but-
That's
but
not my
she
gimmick,
does it,
and you know
but
that.
she-
That's not my
she
gimmick.
doesn't
Yeah, it
show
is,
her-
bitch. You did
she
it.
doesn't
It's your
show
gimmick
her
now.
underwear, and you do.
You don't get to walk it back.
I'm just saying, you called her a slut, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty obvious you're upset that Iron Chef Sakai was giving her money, and it's okay if you were upset about it, Phil.
I legitimately was not
honest.
upset about that at all. I didn't care. I cared that he was derailing my stream and advertising someone else's stream on mine. That has always been against the rules, and he
Oh,
knows
hold
that,
on.
by the way.
All right, let's just move on from that point. You then said that she's not a lesbian. You said that she's bi, or you said what? What did you say exactly, Phil?
So basically, this came up on a stream. I guess we were talking about days later, and I think
I
the
guess he is a
discussion
slut,
was,
right?
people were actually making
It's pretty
fun
slutty
of
to
Iron
do
Chef
a shower
Sakai,
stream.
saying he's a
Oh,
simp.
hello,
He's
Black
going to her streams and he's throwing her money. He's a simp.
Okay.
And I think it came up that someone said, well, she's gay. She's a lesbian. She's outright said it on her stream. She has her girlfriend on the stream. So why would you simp out to someone who
But that's
literally
what
has
you
their
said.
significant other there on the
So
stream?
You said that she's a lesbian, but she says that she's bi.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what you're participating
this
in, Phil, is
matters?
what's called bi erasure.
Oh, okay. At least it,
I'm just
At least you can
surprised
make
you
it
have
matter.
in your title screen
interesting.
at the slideshow at the beginning that you're an LGBTQ ally, and yet here you are erasing
Look,
this
kitty.
woman's identity, telling her that you know what her identity is better than her, but you're
She's
not
not as gay as
upset
Phil.
about Iron Chef Sakai giving her the money.
So follow me on this. All right. You're a streamer.
We're gonna follow.
You know
Phil.
that there's
All
people
right.
out there that are
All right.
weak-minded simps and will throw you money if you make
What?
semi-sexualized content. It's not all the way, but
Isn't
I
that how
work
you
out or
got your
whatever, and people throw me
start?
money when I do it, right?
Is you made lewd
Is it-
comments and shit?
Honest question to you.
Like what?
If you have a significant other on stream, right, and you say you're gay, and you say, I'm just gay, that's it, and this is my significant other, or if you say
Okay.
you're bisexual, which then would give viewers a thought, oh, wait a minute, she's bi, so she's not just gay with this person on stream. There's other,
No, but
maybe I have a
it just
chance.
It just seems like it's easy for the criticisms.
I
from you
I need
to
another beer.
flow
This is
over.
fucking.
But if anybody
Holy
criticizes
shit, this is
you,
fucking-
you have a real problem, right?
Everyone
So you're
criticizes
allowed-
me every
but
moment of
you're-
every day. I
but
don't give
you're-
a shit.
But you know that's a lie, Phil. Come on. Come on. You see the value. Listen, you get upset when people speculate about your love life and your partner, and yet here you are talking about this woman who apparently you have no idea about, nothing about her streaming career, nothing about her life, and here you are saying she's not actually bisexual, she's a lesbian, and she's exploiting her audience for money and this and that, and she's doing this like... Do you not see that as hypocritical in any way?
I like turning off the camera.
Hypocritical? No, absolutely not. It's this simple.
No.
Iron Chef Sakai is a simp, and whoever this woman is a simp herder. This is her content. This is what she does, and that's fine.
These things are weird, man.
About it in my
it's from Firestone. They're mind haze.
My stream's derailed by this behavior.
Turbo
so
rattlers.
Iron Chef Sakai got his ass kicked out of my streams. He's never coming back. I don't care how
Kinda
much more
like
he
beer?
begs, how much more he grovels, how much he offers.
Lemonade mix.
I don't
like
need
the last
his
one
money.
I had
don't
was
need
a
his time.
watermelon.
I don't need simps trying
this
to
one's a
fucking derail my
lemonade.
shit. I'm far above that shit.
Not terrible.
Let's talk about
Hopefully they don't have a bunch
Lesbo
of
Lex a little
sugar.
bit more. So, are you upset that she
Simp
finished
herder.
the Lego set quicker
He's a
than
tard
you?
wrangler.
No,
What
I
are
didn't
you
even know
fucking
that.
talking about?
I didn't even know until someone told me.
The problem is we're now on the second stream of you doing it, and we're what, halfway
Two
there?
streams to build
She finished
Legos.
it
Holy
in one
fuck.
stream.
I'm gonna
so,
have to
are
really
you
hustle
dumber
later.
than a girl, or what?
Well, I actually, you might not realize this, I directly addressed that on my podcast today.
Oh, I heard it. It was a bunch of cope and a bunch of baloney.
Well,
It was a bunch of bullshit.
isn't it true that for some bizarre reason,
It's so good.
there is an entire
Actually,
universe
just
of
saying
content
everything.
that's based around what I do? And
It's
isn't it
crazy.
a weird anomaly? Like
I
I'm
do, because I find your content so boring. I don't know how the fuck they can stand it.
I don't get it. And the thing is,
No fucking way, dude. Dude, he fucking. Oh, what up, Seal? You came in at a good time. This is fucking killing me. Flow chart can't be too. Oh, I hate you. What's up? Oh, dude, what the fuck? All right, yeah. Phil's content has been monumentally boring for fucking years. Like, if you don't dive deep into the fucking understanding of the vortex or try to seek deeper wisdom, or, you know, I would suggest you just do creative things like most of the people do and have fun with it. And not take it seriously, you'll be okay. But like deep vortex shit is fucking wild. It's not as bad as most places I've seen, like Girl World and shit like that. But like deep vortex shit, it can be crazy. And I mean, I just suggest you just stand clear. If you don't really want, if you just point and laugh, man, you're gonna have a good time everywhere you go. You're gonna have a good time at TBS, iVega. You could have a good time at Duty. You could go to GTG. It don't matter what your flavor of the month is. As long as you fucking listen and you enjoy that content, people will be there putting it out. And that's a fascinating thing about Phil. I've seen him come and go for years. And right now, you've got the pick and choose. You got whatever you want. It's a cornucopia of laughs out there. You got people making animated stuff. You got people making songs. You got King of the Ring coming up. You got to make a song for that, right? Everybody's got it. Everybody can do something, right? And everybody makes it because Phil is just fucking boring as shit. And you got to find something that interests you here. And then there you are. You're here. You exist in this with me. And it's fun. And it should be fun. And you should have a good time with it. And it's simple. It's easy. And it's an easy entry point for a lot of people.
I'm okay with being who I am. Like, I don't need to be some wild character, some guy doing crazy zany things. I fucking bought a Lego set. You know, all I did was get this. And my audience said, will you do something different instead of just gaming?
That's part of my problem too.
Right?
Like, why did you buy the cheapest, shittiest Lego set that's so boring? Couldn't we get the Death Star or Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles or whatever?
Well, it's a demo basically, and if this is successful, I have told people I will invest into a bigger Lego set when we're done with this one. And the first two streams, we actually
but you got paid $1,500.
So, we hit a third one.
In like
finale, I will buy a more expensive, better Lego set that's like an IP or something more interesting.
Most
this
Lego
was just a test. I didn't even know
$1,500.
how hard this was going to be. I haven't built Lego since I was like 10 years old.
Because everybody's saying that the reason you're so worried about people going over there is because she was doing what you do, but better. And I think that's why you're worried about it. So
why would I care about that? I'm successful. I'm hitting my goals on my streams. I don't care what
background music,
about how it's
dancing,
business,
whatever.
But if there's a competitor that's doing the same thing but better, that business will go under, no? Especially when they're taking one of the largest clients of yours that gave you so much money. I'll give you an example. Of how you could have improved your stream and been better than her stream, but hers was better. So everybody in chat, from what I understand, was asking you to put on background music because it's awkward while you're building the Lego, right? But she turned it on and sacrificed the ad revenue. But you wouldn't do it. Why? Because the ad revenue is legitimately pennies at this point, brother Phil. Like why not just turn on some like relaxing Nintendo music for your fans? Why are you so chintzy this way?
Oh, it has nothing to do with that. For me, my problem is whenever I try to put something in the background that's not my silly remixes, it ends up getting like muted or blocked. This has happened tons of times. I have, no lie, I have like 70, 80,000 videos on YouTube, and every day I get like 500 notices that previous videos are blocked.
There's a thing called royalty-free.
I get
and you could put
notifications that my shit gets fucking blocked, or the revenue share or something happens.
But royalty-free does not mean it's
what life is on YouTube.
What royalty-free means is that you can use the song, and you don't have to pay a royalty to use it, but you relinquish all rights to your video. And if that person decides to claim your video, they could actually have it muted or blocked if they so choose. And that's happened.
Okay, but I mean, does it really matter? Because it's for the live audience. Don't fucking matter, man. Watching on demand at this point, Phil. Just give the live audience what they want, man.
I get.
You feel like if you give into it,
that's what he thinks about his live audience.
No.
But that's what it is, though. You think that if you give in to earnest criticism, that you'll have made the detractors win, when it's actually the opposite. If you took that criticism and improved your show and made your audience that likes your show like it more, the detractors would lose, Phil. It's a
I don't know about lose, but I think we would have less to gripe about if Phil cleaned his shit up.
It has nothing to do with that.
It's a very real thing
that I'm worried about. It's the actual content being blocked or muted.
Like he thinks buying shit and
times.
Like,
I've had
pretending like he's a professional meant something, and it doesn't. The resurgence doesn't mean shit.
I would have you playing a random clip, and because of the music in the clip,
none of
the
this
whole
shit
stream would
mattered.
get shut down. And now I gotta wait like 5 minutes to get my stream back up because YouTube blocks it, and it happens all the time.
I'll just accept it. Let me swing back around to something, right? So this is now the second Lego stream. I don't think you're stupider than Lex, okay? I think that what you're doing is intentional.
He's listening. Phil's like listening to it.
So that you can milk this Lego set for additional streams.
Absolutely correct.
Is that true, Phil?
Triple P.
No,
That's what I call him.
I wasn't aware that I was in any competition with anyone else to build a Lego. This isn't like...
But you're sandbagging your content like you do with your games, man.
Wait.
To make,
why would it make me look
This is how you don't play.
She did it faster.
Less popular and harder to edit one together. Is you're so fucking boring.
But when I'm doing the stream, okay,
at this point,
I'm number one. I'm actually using a new setup, which I actually the same setup we actually just used to do these cards. I'm using to do the Lego now. So I'm trying to get it in frame.
You press one button.
With the camera and all of that to get it working. I'm not in any rush. I'm hanging out with the audience. I'm literally having a conversation with my audience. It's considered a hangout stream, right? We never were of any impression that there was a rush to finish this. I mean, if that was the case, I would have had it done the first night. I could have rushed through it and done it, but I'm not in any rush. I was doing
Why are we
it
talking
for
in
myself
circles about
because my
this?
fans wanted to do it. They wanted something different. All of a sudden, this weird DSP universe emerges where everyone wants to show that I'm better than DSP. So this
that's true. I see you out there. I see you motherfuckers. I've done it before. I know how it fucking feels. You get out there and you tweet out, "Oh, I did my push-up, son. I'm better than DSP. Oh, I went to work, dude. I left my house." I mean, at base level, what do you gotta do to be better than Phil? Rub two brain cells together? Think about yourself and try to improve yourself? You did it! Congratulations! You did something to improve yourself. You're better than fucking DSP. I mean, that's what you boil it down to, man. It don't matter. You can run 5 miles, 10 miles, do fucking a 300-pound squat on the fucking rack. Like, what are you gonna do? Tell me you work at fucking Walmart? Yeah, you're better than Phil. You got a fucking job that gives you consistent income. You have something that keeps you motivated and going. Like, I just don't get it. Phil has nothing to offer anyone. Nothing. And I understand it because I've been around for fucking ever on this shit. You gotta make this your own. You gotta enjoy it for what you enjoy here. It's insane. It's insane.
They all buy it and they're building it on their streams. Oh, look, I'm better than Phil. Phil doesn't care. Phil doesn't give.
Phil does care because he talked about Rich and he talked about Lex having it.
I think it's funny and bizarre and weird that these people orbit around me and I'm the center of their universe.
You could be a jobless bum.
Somehow
and at least you might wipe down somebody's fucking windshield with some Windex and you'd be better than Phil.
The vortex or whatever it is fucked. The people in it are wacky.
Oh yeah,
Whether
dude.
They're fucking detractors.
I know you, JG. You and I've been talking.
What did you think?
I gotta get your take. You gotta hit me up in the DMs. I gotta get your take on the trade war right
to
now.
Lex and
I don't know what I'm doing. My poor crypto portfolio got clapped.
I didn't hear. I know about slurs.
But
I heard about the death threat. But here's the thing.
Excess weed money.
All right. I'm on my break. I have a rare 2 days off in a row to spend time with my wife. We had plans and everything. I'm paying no attention to what's going on the internet on purpose. Like I want to be disconnected from the internet.
Oh no! You can't say this, Mr. Fucking. I fucking ban people and argue with people on my fucking wedding night. I can't. You can't fucking get that one past me, son. Let me. No. We're gonna cook some bacon tonight because fuck it. I don't know. I don't know if GTD hit this one fucking out, but what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Oh, it's not very chill at all. Put it in the poll. There's an option there, but I win the other option. I say I don't fucking care. I don't care. Well, let me get the post. I don't care. Okay, I just don't. The problem with this man fucking doing this shit is, what? Like, let me run that back real quick. I gotta hear that just again. It's crazy.
A rare 2 days off in a row to spend time with my wife. We had plans and everything. I'm paying no attention to what's going on the internet on purpose. Like I want to be disconnected from the internet. I come back.
No. You got your Discord, you got your flying monkeys, you got everything under the fucking sun coming at you with the hotness. You got fucking everything rolling in there with the fucking quickness here. And Phil, again, argued with people on Twitter on his wedding fucking night. He could have been banging this girl before she got fatter than a goddamn walrus on a beach. Greenpeace gonna roll her back in next time she touches water. They're worried. Like this behind the scenes shit that's been bugging Phil for months. And I mean months. Probably since like October. It's been eating him alive. You can see it. He looks tired. He looks fucked up. He looks like he's been drinking. Shiny, red, glossied. He don't give a fuck right now. All he cares about is hitting these goals. Well, allegedly. Because I want to keep you in the loop. I'm in a Discord, right? With the big guys up there. The former Kiwi refugees. And I love them very much. And certainly Muppets out there. And he was talking to us, and he was like, hey, man, you should keep in mind. Phil might not be hitting your goals, but you better pay attention because he's still getting $300 a day. So he doesn't hit a goal. He can manipulate this stuff, just like I can manipulate that poll and tell you that it's all troll lies, and I don't care. This is where Phil goes with this. Why does it matter about your day off? Why does it matter about that private life that you care about so much, Phil? That you want to take away from this. Yet, oh, my tire got stolen. Oh, my grocery bags got robbed, dude. You conflate things into giant fucking issues, and they're not. They're just fucking not. Just like this. Oh, I wasn't online all day, bro. Yeah, you were. You were banning people on Kick. You're mad that people on Kick. Big ups to the LARPers. You guys remind me a lot of Freedom Chat out there. And it's a bunch of fun. But you keep in mind that Phil is angry at you guys because you laugh at him and make funny names about him. There's a reason why TBS is running with it. It's because it's fun. It's free. It's easy. And it's creative. Get out there and drop your favorite Kick fucking names, right? You can do whatever you want. Cat's weight over 220 real. You can steal that one right now and get it banned. I'll give you a list of fucking 30 if I want. It's fucking great. Like, I don't know, separate beds 220 feet away real. Yeah, steal that one too. You know, it's great. Cat falls asleep downstairs real. Like you got them all. It was one of the best, that being said, ideas ever that Alt has. It's great. It's funny. And it should be embraced because laughing and having a good time should be enjoyable. Like, you get to step on ones. Those girls don't care. Sav doesn't care. Spit in my mouth, Sav real. You know, she don't care. She's laughing it off. She's probably feeling far fucking worse. I'm sure there's probably somebody out there on meth tweeting at her, being in her DMs, barely getting any fucking action out there because they're a fat cunt and they just can't get any play. It's fucking terrible. It's awful. And these girls have to go through it. But you know what? They can laugh it off and keep stepping. Because they have a spine unlike this fucking cunt who needs to make an excuse for his fucking actions. Oh, I wasn't there, but I called these people a slut. Oh, I wasn't there, but these people aren't my people. I never gave them death threat orders. I never said hateful things towards women's. I like the women's. All right.
Back from my break, and I'm getting yelled at. Why is someone who claims to be your fan giving a death threat to this woman? How the fuck do I know? What are you talking about? I don't know who this is. I didn't see it.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Do you feel like when you call this woman a slut, when you participate in bi erasure and go after her identity, do you feel like you cultivate an atmosphere of hate that would lead to this woman being
known as the king of hate? Remember, he's the king.
To follow up on that comment, because I can answer this very easily. Do you feel that every single person who's made fun of me on the internet has created a cultivating atmosphere of hate that people now want to kill me because of it?
Yes. Big ups, peace,
well, there you go, then that's the answer.
Big ups to the brick squad. Big ups to the secret ring house.
Both ways, you know, because you say that they create that atmosphere of hate around you, and then here you are doing the same thing to this girl. Now, personally,
a girl he doesn't know. Who hasn't seen any content of hers?
Devil's advocate because I don't
just off the word of some fucking cuck
responsible for the behavior.
Who gave her money?
I don't think you.
That's how crazy it is, man.
What your fans do, and I think we wouldn't have very many content creators left if we held people to that standard. Because there's all sorts of Looney Tunes and fucking psychos out there. But I think you calling her a slut. Let me ask you this, Phil. Do you think you have a problem with women?
Yes.
No, not at all.
Women. Asians, wheelchairs, you fucking name it, he has issues.
I mean,
black people.
Things like, to me personally, but not in general.
I have this post
go down a
that
fucking
you
list.
wrote
It feels
back
like, I don't like people with long beards.
This is great.
People with dyed beards. People with beards in general.
And people say that this is your incel manifesto.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
You say shit.
God,
every woman I've
Phil.
ever known was either extremely selfish and self-centered, too busy feeling sorry for herself to do anything else, too annoying and or geeky to
keep in mind he hasn't
30
changed.
minutes,
He still feels this way.
This
is still how he fucking
doing stupid
wants
things
it.
and then complaining to you because they went totally
hasn't
against
changed.
what you told them.
It hasn't
Fine.
changed.
A total slut. Now, Phil, that fifth one,
oh no!
Slut. That's the same language you used in 2025.
You could have an argument for that he's worse now.
Right.
So,
because he should know better, and he doesn't.
You know, essay, this diatribe against women, or do you have a problem with women, or what?
Well, first of all, I've talked about this. My past, I was an internet troll. I was purposefully making content that would incense people on the internet for attention.
No,
I was kind of a loser.
No. Yeah, well, that's true. DSP is a fucking loser. Don't get him. No. WrestlePay, the Slow Beef and the Homies, they made that fucking podcast, pissed Phil off. Phil got fucking very mad about that. He got mad as fuck at Alpha Omega Sin back in the day. And there are a couple other people who he sent the fucking quote-unquote hate army, shout out to hate, fucking right after these people in YouTube videos on his fucking channel. Like, the man uses weaponized autism. I've only seen a handful of people try to use weaponized autism, but, like, Phil actually has done it. It's literally happened. I mean, that's why his AdSense account, you know, right? Hey, you guys are a bunch of fags. Click on the ads. That's what it was, and people did. They wanted to root for him. He was the underdog. He was the likable retard at the school that everybody just said, hey, man, let him have a good time. And then they realized, this guy's a fucking asshole. He's a scumbag. He's a piece of shit. He's gay. He's a faggot. He's a retard. He's a 220. Do you want to keep fucking going? Because we fucking can. You can label Phil whatever you want as some mentally ill, deranged motherfucker. He's a degenerate. He doesn't know better. He doesn't understand any of it. You can call him whatever. He's a, oh, no, that's not me. I haven't been tested. He can do whatever he wants. No, it wasn't me.
Was looking for attention on the internet
very
because
chill.
My real life was pretty boring.
Maybe I should have more
I
beer.
did the same thing in the Street Fighter community. You can find all kinds of crazy posts I made back then that were very trollish, very stupid stuff. And I've since then, you know, especially with these documentaries that have come out.
But you still call women sluts.
Well,
and you still erase their sexual identity and take away their individual.
Oh, hold on. Sav, you say chillness levels are very down, but I have a gripe. Like a true and honest gripe right now. I'm very disappointed that my favorite name about the Panda Lee ass clip did not go ahead in the finals of our Darziak event. I'm very disappointed by this, and I stand with Steve. And it's a real big pill, wink, to fucking swallow to stand with Steve and agree with him, because low-key, that is the funniest shit ever, because Phil has to actually research that, look at his ex's ass over the tub, and then turn around, walk to the other room, see Kat, realize that Burger King is still open, and go buy her a snack burger. So, Alt, you're a piece of shit. You're old, but I'll still buy a beer and drink a beer with you. So I guess we're even.
Duality from them.
Well,
like
because
they're an object.
Because that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. You know? Listen,
well, that's like your opinion, man.
And the content is based on showing their body in a provocative way. And they're going to get money based on doing that.
But you showed your
sexualized
feet.
content.
What are we talking about?
Didn't you say you've never seen any of her content?
I haven't. I've only heard what they told me it was
in my channel.
So based on what I've heard.
I have seen some.
By the way, Sav, if you're still there,
bikini.
sorry. But if I pull a McDavid out of any of these packs here from the
she's not showing her feet like you do.
I'll send it to you.
So it's very strange.
Maybe a dry saddle too. I don't know. Whatever you want. You want an Evander can? I probably got you there. If he plays for the
She
Oilers,
took your money and you're pissed.
Fuck that guy.
She didn't take my money. She took Iron Cuck's money. She didn't take my money.
But
you felt entitled to it.
Iron Cuck's money your money?
No. None of my viewers' money is my money until they give it to me. Then it's my money. Then I have the right to do whatever I want with it. But I'm not entitled.
He called him Iron Cuck. Yeah, that is fucking gold.
When he went over there, and when he promoted her stream in your chat, because you're worried that you're going to lose your money, right?
I don't give a crap about what any of my viewers do outside of my streams.
But you need to be aware of what your viewers do outside of your stream. This is very important, chat. They are part of your community. If I had people going around giving somebody death threats for no reason, or, not just saying kill yourself, it don't matter, but doing real stupid shit, I'm the first one who's going to show up and DM them and be like, hey, are you okay? Or are you just being a retard? Like, if I ever had an issue with you, anybody out there, whoever listens to this, I know there's some people go, I don't know. I might not, like, hey, do you have they might come talk to you and say, hey, do you have Agent Proper? Do you talk to them? Do you get to have one-on-one time with them? Dude, Look at the bottom of the screen right there. You can send me a fucking message on Twitter. DMs are open. You can hit me up on Discord. You can find me. I'm in most Discords related to the Vortex. You can come find me, hit me up, add me as a friend. We can play Marvel Rivals together. I will play a tank. You play a healer. We'll have fun. But that's what I want. I want to be able to form relationships with people and have a good time. Because I expect them to hold me to the highest standards that I hold myself to. And if I fuck up and get caught up in shit, I deserve to be pulled back to fucking earth. If people have a problem with you, they should say something about it. I have no issue coming to you directly if I have an issue with you, telling you that I have an issue with you. If you ever hear, oh, Agent Proper might have an issue with me, it's not true. Come talk to me. I do still have Goutopia. It's there. Goutopia does exist, and I'm making a bunch of write-ups right now. I mean, behind the scenes, I'm working on that fucking website because I want to bring you a better version of that website. If you just got to go goutopia.net. That's what it is. You can go find it. You can go talk about whatever. You can add locales yourself. I wanted this to be a place that was like a Kiwi Farms alternative, but I'm not going to yell at you for making fat jokes, feeder jokes about me. I could give a fuck. It's not what I'm there for. I'm there for giving you a space where you can enjoy being yourselves. That's more important to me. But yeah, you can totally check it out if you want to make an account, whatever, be there. I'm there. I check in pretty much once a day because I care about it. But big ups to all you guys over there on goutopia.net. It's a community for you, really, to be honest. And I need to work on it and build you a better foundation. And I'm sorry about that I've gotten caught up in life shit that is far more important than laughing at retards online. But it's there. It exists. It's still for you. I still maintain it. I still have to re-up a domain name. You're good. And go enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. Make it yours. That's what I want, is you guys to make it your place to be.
But I do care about what they do on my streams. And that behavior is not allowed. It never has been in the entirety of the time that I make content.
But Darren posted porn links and you let that slide.
Advertising anyone else who's a creator or competitor.
But you go on other people's streams and advertise your streams and your opinions. What are you fucking talking about, man? You've done it to fucking these guys, Kino Casino, several times while fucking deep in the gym. You've shown up and you've talked to fucking other people, Arturo streams. You used to on for him and you'd fucking go and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing a fucking stream here. I'm doing stream here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. What's up, Doomer Ziggy? But still, it's like, he fucking runs the show there. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. If you go talk about shit in a detractor stream, or you go talk to a detractor and do an interview, you're going to get questioned about it. You're going to get, why'd you do that? Ask OIC how that went. Ask how it went to get the world record of faggot told to him. Because I went for it, man. Because I don't like being lied to. That's right. I don't like people who lie to me about bullshit, who fucking have issues with shit. It's fucking stupid. It's real fucking gay. And it shouldn't fucking happen. It shouldn't. At all.
In my content, period, because this is my place of business. No other business will allow another business to advertise in theirs that's considered, a competition. I was on the front page of Kick. She was on the front page of Kick. It's just not allowed. It's just common sense in any business. Like I said, you can't go to Subway and advertise a competing sandwich.
It's a community.
I want to know,
you're streaming on their platform.
Why call her a slut? Why say that she's faking being bi and she's actually a lesbian?
Because number one, I'm basing that off of what people are saying in my chat, which is that she's making sexualized content for money.
Let me stop you right there. So when people listen to a detractor and then they come after you and fuck with you, is that okay based on what they heard?
No, Phil will never take your advice. Never. I'm just telling you.
I would say it depends on the extent. It depends on the extent of what's being said. Because you're not always going to go direct to the source. I know that. I'm not stupid. But there's a lot of people who they'll hear something and then they'll make a judgment by it. But then perhaps they'll actually check it out for themselves, and then they'll have a different opinion.
Listen,
in this case, I have no desire to ever check out.
That's correct.
DSP
did take
person
a shower for ad money. It was the first time you've ever
well,
done.
You do care. I can tell you care. But here's my advice to you in these circumstances. Because really, what you should have done is just said nothing about her. Because
that's true. You could have just said, "Nah, man, I don't care.
What she was doing.
She can have her fun.
You don't really.
I'm
know.
having my fun here
and
on level 1."
Sometimes you just have to take that.
That's all you had to say. That's all Phil had to do.
And if you are saying you're not about drama, you're about positivity and all of this stuff that you say in meaningful content, then that's how you should be acting, right, Phil? Sometimes, listen, she fucking stole your pay pig. She made fun of you. She did a bunch of detractor memes. She didn't even know what the fuck she was doing. You know what I mean? But then you come out and you call her a slut.
Is he even listening to BBB?
Identity and say
I don't think so.
Different.
I think he tuned them out.
Where you get into trouble, right?
It's like staring at chat. Like, oh yeah, we saw this all over the place.
There would be no ammunition. Or you know what? Here's what I would do
you're
if I was pissed. Just go full balls.
That's all you're getting.
Wall. Fuck that bitch.
That's all you're fucking getting in Phil's brain.
She's a sinner. She's going to hell. But you can't have it both ways, brother Phil.
That's what it is. All employees is playing into say.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the funny part about all of it, right? So
what's funny about this?
More time talking about this by about 10 times than what I've spent on my streams talking about it.
No,
I think literally
like 50
there was one comment that I made about her, and then there was the second comment where I said that Iron Chef Sakai was a simp for her, and when someone said, "Oh, well, she's gay," but she's bi, and I was like, "No, she's not. She's milking these idiots because they're so dumb and they're gullible, and that's why they're giving.
No one cares.
And
what
that
she
was
is.
literally the extent of the content that I made about this person or said anything.
Would you
What
apologize
a fucking disaster
for
this
the
is.
statements that you made?
Will she apologize for all the shit that she said about me on the streams to milk money out of the detractors?
But this is the thing is, you shouldn't have to expect her to do the right thing in order for you to do the right thing, right?
Here's the right thing to do. Just move on, which I already have. I don't talk about this one. Like I said,
we'll see if he moved on tomorrow.
Less than 5 minutes.
We'll see if he moved on.
That's how much of my content was taken up talking about the subject. There was the discussion with Iron Chef Sakai where I told him, "You're derailing my content," and I banned him. Then there was the discussion where I did say that thing about her once because it was in response to a comment. And then later on, I called him a simp,
to be in other streamers' chats and giving them money.
That she's
get
bi,
the fuck out.
She's milking me. It was like 5 minutes, if that. And then I moved on.
Crazy.
It's not me that creates these situations. It's this vortex that's around me that hyper-fixates
the center
and blows
of
it up
it.
for their own
You
content.
are the black hole that sucks people in and just fucking chews them up.
Do you understand?
No, here's the truth. I'm the eye of the vortex, but I don't care about the vortex, and I don't want to be a part of the vortex. Because if I did care and I did become a part, that would be all I am.
You don't get that choice,
homie. Constantly.
But you are.
You are the vortex. Everything, all this shit swirls around you in your silly actions towards other people. You're reactionary. Everybody reacts to your silly nonsense and then go from there. It's fucking very retarded of you to not understand that the detractors are here to point and laugh at you at this point. Money is secondary. I even think it's secondary to people like Duty. It might not be to people who grift and shown up since that point. But at the same time, go get your bag. We ain't gatekeeping over here. You want to come get your bag and run the scam on people and go get them to buy your t-shirts or whatever else you want to fucking peddle? I don't give a fuck. I ain't buying your shit. I ain't buying your act. Because that's what I fucking grew up with. I ain't fucking coming out the sandbox and giving some people ass pats for no fucking reason except for showing up. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. My game's all about respect. If I don't respect you, I don't give a fuck. You're gonna fucking know it, and you're gonna know it real fucking quick. But Phil is so stuck in his ways, he doesn't know where to move. He doesn't understand that he is sitting there in check, almost a checkmate, and he's got to make a move and move somewhere, anywhere, any move. Please help. But he's just sitting there, handhold, help me understand it. He's got nowhere. His community has no identity. He has no identity. We are here in a weird landscape where Lego streams are becoming normal, where gaming content is becoming less like we've predicted for years. It would be insane. I will buy a Ziggy brand thong, and I will wear it, and then charge you $150 for a picture of it. But hey, whatever, then you can put it on your mall and pretend that it's you. Shit's crazy. All Phil has is drama. That's the only thing that brings people to his streams. If he ain't getting money, people show up. Because that's drama. If he is here fucking yelling at people, mad, banning people like Lucky Gremlin for having an opinion about how Phil is perceived, then too fucking bad. Get the fuck out. Phil doesn't understand that that's him causing all of this shit. He doesn't get why he's the center of attention in this place. He doesn't understand why people fucking dance around him, orbit him, fucking come in, come out, show up, laugh, fucking leave. It's been a cycle for years, and nobody fucking gets it. I don't get it. I don't know why he's such a big fucking autism magnet. No fucking idea. I've been trying to figure it out for fucking 16 years at this point. It's crazy.
You're engulfed in it. It is chaos all the time. And what I find interesting is a lot of the time, like I'll say, you don't have to respond to this, or you don't have to address this. Whatever they're saying about you on any given day, you don't have to let them control you. Because a lot of the shit they say is nonsense. But the thing is, you respond to it, and then when you respond to it and you talk about it, it enables the vortex to continue. Do you see what I'm saying?
A good detractor will always dig out their gold dust.
It's impossible to not respond when people
like straight up anybody worth their salt will be able to find anything on Phil from years ago and dig it up and morph it to what they need.
Or the vortex will always consume
you. Got a gold mine.
Sometimes
that's funny. Consume you.
There's so much. Listen, Phil. People say so much nasty shit about me every day.
I think this is coming from a real place for PPP right now. This seems genuine.
It would be all I ever do, which half of the time is all you ever do is respond to the shit that these people are saying.
Which is true.
That was true in the past.
It's true today, Phil.
Definitely true in the past. That is not true today.
Oh, thank you, PPP. I'm glad you agree with me.
It's so true, sir.
Oh, PPP is a golden tool.
I am so different today than how I used to be. Because you're right. I used to be so angry about every single little insignificant thing that was said about me, and I would bring it up and I would rage.
Go talk to Lucky Gremlin about that and his brothers, the alleged Dutch brothers.
5 minutes, not even 5 minutes spent on this.
There are allegations that the Gremlins are the Dutch brothers.
I think he did 25 minutes on the Lego thing, the Lego cope today.
That was good. That was a good segment. I enjoyed that.
Listen, it is a good segment.
Look, Langston,
I have a feeling that you do actually, on a deep down level, know what you're doing. And know that it is in your best interest to keep the vortex going. Because it is. It's a symbiotic relationship between you and the detractor.
It really hasn't changed for the SRT. It's all the same Phil. He's not a character. It's genuine.
It kind of is in a way. Now, people are saying you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't, I think. But I think you do. I think that you got to realize you are enabling what they're doing. And if you just ignore their narratives, their narratives would die out or they would only exist over there. But
that's literally where they only exist, though. Like, it doesn't exist in my stream. I told you, my stream, this was less than 5 minutes. What you're addressing is the detractor vortex around me. If you actually attend my streams, this is not my content. Like you said, that Lego segment was an observation about Rich and her and maybe a couple others.
Who's
even
her?
all buying
Please
Legos
name
and building
people.
them because I built them. But
I'm very tired of that. I'm very tired here in the Vortex about people not fucking naming people. You use your proper pronouns and be like, oh, her, they, them. It don't matter, but like, what the fuck? Like, just fucking name drop somebody. You got a problem going on? Just fucking say their fucking name. But I have this issue with this person. That's all you gotta do. I am in the fucking condo from Connecticut. It's pretty dusty in here. Hasn't been open in a while. But That's what Phil's content is. Overall. His overall bullshit is he expects money just to show the fuck up.
That's not me angry. That's just an observation, and it's a piece of content for my podcast, and then I move on, and we have a fun day. What did we do today?
You can't convince me you're not angry about it.
That's what my content is.
Just like you can't convince me that he doesn't fake dips at this point.
Becomes 50 hours for them. But I don't care because I'm not involved in it.
Here's what I say. What is your hypothesis?
I have a big theory about that he fakes tips because he doesn't make enough money when he's against
But it's not really like that for many other creators.
He'll just fake a
profits. That's why.
But there is ways to, A-log it and make profitable content out of other creators.
Mm-hmm.
But with you in particular, there seems to be like it's very dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's partly because you feed them constantly.
But there's no way to not feed them.
Welcome to
there's
Content Farming 101, man.
Everything I do,
somebody's going to give you the good fertilizer.
If I have the most absolute boring time, they still turn it into something. If I don't make content for 2 days, they have someone go out and post a death threat and say that they're doing it in my name.
That's why it's real funny when Duty shows up and
so it doesn't matter
and praises Argentinian subs for 50
respond to that stuff.
When they get a response from Phil.
You really don't. It's like I told you
it's
too.
Kind of things that do happen.
When it came to that June the King documentary, I said to you,
we're talking June the King,
potentially cucking the content for everybody. But I said, Phil, you don't actually have to react to the whole thing. You don't actually have to do that, and it's probably only hurting you to do so. You know what I mean? And you still went ahead with it. For whatever reason.
It could be so many anonymously, but it just feels disingenuous when he doesn't.
Or it might not have made any difference.
That's my biggest problem with this. It just doesn't feel genuine.
I don't know. I think I did the right thing there. I really do, because I feel like all that shit is now in the past, and anyone who's still talking about that stuff, it's like, so many people saw the documentary and were like, that's it? You would be surprised how many people contact me. They were like, that's it? That's why people are so angry with you all these years?
It's not just it.
People message me that as well.
Fucking Taurus, man.
Part of the problem that you run into, Phil, let me be honest, is that you feel like you need to control the narrative. Do you feel that way?
Yes.
I don't think I can control the narrative. I can only...
No, you can't. You're fucked.
Is on my own
Detractors control the narrative at this point.
Try to put out the best
people like Duty control the narrative at this
into
point.
That drama sphere.
Be concerned.
And that's the best I can do with the situation I'm in.
Especially if you're Phil.
I'm never going to be able to completely separate myself from it.
Because people like Duty
they're always going to pull me back in, no matter how much I try.
Speculate.
I just think honestly, you embrace the
then
whole
drum
thing
up drama out of nowhere
the thing
and
is,
make it happen.
There's two paths. You either don't engage
because it's all content farming at the end of the day.
Let it fucking go and don't try and control the narrative, or let's just bring Duty on. Let's bring That Being Said on. Argue with them about all of this shit
TBS.
and just settle the fucking shit.
His easiest target would be Duty.
That's the point here. It'll never be settled because people like them, they always move the goalpost because they need more content for the next day. If I'm not here making content that they can make fun of, then they just make something up anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like, I will never appease those people. I mean, I might benefit from that.
If you went to Bahama Breeze?
Content, I probably would get views.
Spent $84?
But that's not the kind of person
or the
kind of creator that I am, and I don't want to be that kind of creator.
Do you feel that everybody who has criticisms of you is like bad faith and they're always going to be bad and against you, that none of them are fair?
Oh, no, that's not true at all. There's definitely people who have fair criticisms, and I enjoy hearing the fair criticisms.
No, you don't.
I feel like I have.
You're not enjoying
been
this.
able to improve myself a lot, especially these last couple of years, because of those fair criticisms. But then there's the people who just outright will lie no matter what.
Can you name somebody who was a critic of yours or detractor of yours that you feel would be in good faith to have a conversation with?
No.
I don't know. I'd have to look into it because I do not watch detractor content. God's honest truth, I don't.
That's a fucking straight lie.
I mostly don't know what they say.
I don't know how to say his name, this alt guy or ALT guy. From That Being Said, I've heard he's a pretty reasonable guy. He's a pretty level-headed guy.
Now here's the cool thing about Alt. Alt does know lore. He does do the deep dives, right? He does the Dead Sea Scrolls and shit. He can bring you to that subject and teach you the outline to it. He might not have lived through it. He might not give you the fat details somebody like myself, GTG, David Davison, Theo, or Tevin could give you. and lead you along of why we ended up here and why we got to said point, like with Toby Turner, Justine, or anybody else like that Phil was mentioned before and ran over. You can be like, hey, look at this is 7 years of debunking slander, but you might not understand the context to that shit. Now, we got to see briefly what happened when you got a detractor to interact with Phil with Broside Phil. I thought he did a fair job. I understand people's criticism over it. I understand the place that Broside Phil was coming from and why he went those routes and why he's very serious about his integrity and his information accuracy. That's very fair. That's just the kind of person who he is. Now, it's got to be kind of intimidating to interact with Phil in this way because you don't want to disappoint. You don't want the vortex to be mad at you because you dropped the fucking ball. You fumbled it and you misstepped. I don't think Broside Phil did that. I think it was a very rare opportunity to get on the same playing field with Phil. It doesn't happen often enough. It eventually might happen again where some detractor who's worth some shit might get a face-to-face interaction with Phil. And it might cost a great deal to do. Who knows what happens with that? But at the end of the day, Phil cannot take criticism. He can't take that face-to-face shit. You can't step to him and then clap him and keep going. If Phil will disconnect, he will run away, he will hide from you. I know, I can't get drunk and then call him an F-slur. I can't do mean things to him. He'd hang up on me. I mean, Stephen Cambian did a pretty good job and held Phil's feet to the fire pretty well. And now he's having fun with it. Let it ride. There's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, you can call Phil names all day long, and it might not have the impact because he might tune you out like he does when somebody tells him the fucking truth about how he interacts with his audience. And he might be the kind of person who you want to punch in the face or give a nice grown man slap to. It might not be worth it. I wonder if Jaha or Mike Watson figure that they maybe one day, hey, what if I actually did that? Could we have changed Phil's life? One firm smack from my hand could have changed everything. It could have been that way. Maybe one brick to the head. Who knows? You could have left a spoon-shaped dent in Phil's head. You could have done whatever to him. You go, Phil's very vulnerable at this point in time. He has no direction in his life. He's holding on to whatever shambles of a career on YouTube he's had. He has no savings. Never bought that new dishwasher. Probably never fixed up the shower. Probably never bought a new vacuum cleaner. Has been lying to his audience for years about his needs, wants, and two big bills. Yet you're here, and you get people who go, "Oh, it's okay, King." Okay, that's fine by me. I don't care if you give him money. It goes to the same place that it's always been. It just disappears, man. Phil would disappear if detractors gave it up. I don't think detractors will because it's too fascinating. I don't think that point will ever come and be. I think you'll still have diehard detractors there if Phil got a job as a Walmart greeter and streamed one day a week. You still get somebody going, here's his one stream, he begged for money. It'd be out there. It's just what it is. That's his reality that he's put himself in. He has firmly placed his own tomb in this snort fort. And he has to live with every decision he's made for the past 16 years. If he can deal with it or not.
I didn't even know that's who that is because people say ALT in my chat all the time, and I had no idea that he was from that show.
I think Alt would do a decent job with an interview because I think he has a lot of facts. He would come with facts.
A lot of the time when it comes
I just don't know if he could drag Phil's
I just
ass
don't
out.
have the knowledge, and I
It's a
try
harder
my
thing to do.
best to understand this last 16 years of your life, but it's like I don't have the time. Like these guys experienced it in real time for decades, following you. And
a lot of
so
people
they're
have, yeah.
able to go back and forth with you on this stuff. Whereas with me, it's like, okay, like I'm talking about shit that happened 12
PPP
years ago,
is really trying to set up a detractor
fucking
appearance on
know.
this show.
So I
Like
feel
really
like at a
hard
certain point,
because
this
he
whole,
needs
like,
to save this show
community
for himself.
has to come together.
Otherwise, he
in a
needs to
way,
go
and there
talk about
has to
wrestle
be
somewhere
at
else
least
in
some
Discord.
sort of a resolution on this with the people who know it best. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's only to your benefit at this point to talk about it with these people and show everybody that you're open and honest about it. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, but again, that
What's
only
up,
benefits
TJ?
me if that's what I want to do. And
Oh,
that's the
you
kind of
say
content I
he's
want.
looking
It's
for a
not.
detractor,
I
huh?
don't want to be
Weird.
involved with these
Talking
people. I
about
don't
a
want to be in drama
wrestling show?
content. You know, everyone's.
Insert yourself in drama content.
Okay.
Bill.
Wait. I insert myself? Hold on a second now. Hold on. So you're going to tell me that Iron Chef Sakai going over to someone else's stream, coming on mine, and literally derailing my entire business, that was me. I did that.
Well, is that derailing your entire business?
Absolutely.
How?
Absolutely. The entire Kick Chat was talking about it.
One dude leaves your fucking
Okay.
what?
So here's my next question.
You don't even like Kick Chat.
If one of your guys comes over and donates to me, or one of my guys goes over and donates to you, like, is there
They
jealousy?
do.
Is there bitterness? Is
No.
there anger?
The only thing
No, and
holding
that's
people
happened
up on a
many
daily
times, I'm
basis
sure.
are
I'm
keto cuts
absolutely
at
sure
this
that's
fucking
happened
point.
tons of times.
Dr.
And that's fine.
Lexus,
Everyone is
$250,000
in my opinion,
man, or
maybe
whatever
other
that
people
fag
disagree.
his name is.
Everyone can do whatever they want
It's only people
outside of the
props up
realm of
anymore.
your own stream, business, or
What are we
content.
talking about?
So when you're
And
here, and
if
you're in my
PPP's
chat,
not
welcome.
fucking dog
abide
whistling
by the
them back,
rules.
PPP ain't done
What
with
they
them.
are.
But
And
Phil
as
should
soon as you
understand
leave,
and
I have
fear
no control over
PPP
anything you say or do.
talking
Or
to him
anything.
about support.
But
He can
nobody
rug
else
pull
has
him anytime.
rules like this, Phil. Like, if somebody's in my fucking chat, oh, hey, I like this guy's stream, I'm not going to ban that guy. I think
Oh, it's
that's
chill
fucking
content?
nuts.
I'm glad you're
To
thinking
be
it's pretty
honest,
fucking chill.
And I think that, again, you're just
a
you're
triad.
deflecting from the reality that you're upset that you felt that was your money
It's not.
that then went
It's not
to
why
her.
I was upset. I'm telling you. And you can say that as much as you want, and I know I won't convince you, but that's not the reason. That's not it.
Can you even convince yourself of it?
I'm 100% convinced. Again,
do you
this
even
is
believe your own bullshit? Like, have you?
You're playing
hypnotized
Magneto and
yourself
Rivals?
To that extent,
You know, after
If
the
you-
stream, you come hit your old
let
boy
me ask you
proper up.
this.
I'll come
I
play
know
some
it's a dumb
fantastic or
food
something.
hypothetical, but these always work for
I'll play
me for
some
reason.
thing.
doing it again.
I'm doing it again.
Okay.
You walk into Subway. You have every intention of ordering a Subway sandwich. You're hungry for Subway, okay? But everyone around you is standing there talking about how the Jersey Mike's sub shop next door is so good and so much better than Subway, right? What's going to happen? Are you going to stand there and order your Subway, or you're going to, oh my God, there's a whole bunch of people here
What?
saying that Jersey Mike's is better. You're going to go next door, right?
So so
Sure.
just like the sandwich shop, you're worried about lost profits. So I'm right.
Yes.
I'm worried about people being convinced that other content is better.
Oh, PPP's
because
gonna
they're
die
seeing
for
it being
this.
advertised
You can't
on my
understand
show.
it that Phil
But
can't
if
connect
it
the
is,
dots.
and you can't compete. Like, the problem isn't that it's being
Phil
advertised.
thinks he's
the
not
problem is that you
competing.
can't compete.
That's
You
the
need to be
problem.
better. You get what I'm saying?
Which
Phil's trying to
in my
compete
opinion,
in
I
the
think
Special
I am.
Olympics, and he
In
doesn't
most
even
cases,
have a
maybe not
fucking
every
wheelchair.
case. But
He's
I don't
not
need
even that
people
retarded.
cross-advertising in my content. That's never been allowed.
It's like
I mean, this is
Johnny
all the way
Knoxville
back
from
from
The Ringer.
the days of Toby Turner.
Oh,
was running
I
ads
fuck.
'cause
Eat
he
a
was,
dick,
had a
dude.
tie-in with
Toby
Madden,
Turner had
like,
nothing
in
to do to
2010.
have
And
with
he had
those
these
fucking
ads
ads
running on
back in
everyone's
the day.
videos that were
Get the
gamers. Wait
fuck
a
outta
minute,
here.
why is
He
Toby
promoted
Turner
his
advertising
shit
his
through
gaming
YouTube
channel
and
on my
Madden
fucking
said, yes,
content?
please.
That's
Pay him.
completely unfair. It's predatory practice. It shouldn't even be allowed on YouTube. And
That's
since then,
YouTube's
that's always been
misstep,
my
and you just gotta
philosophy.
move away from it and
I
not
think
care.
it is.
Oh,
I totally
I
think
Just
it
don't
is.
care.
I don't know, man.
give a fuck.
Like, I just think that you're salty. You know?
Dude,
Like, I don't know
he
what to
is
say.
losing the
Like,
That's your opinion.
gymnastics,
You're
the
entitled
mental
to it. I'm not
gymnastics
upset by
in
that.
Special Olympics right now.
I just think if you were a bit more honest.
I can't
about
believe I
things
didn't
and
pay
direct,
this much
like,
attention to
listen,
this shit.
Fuck this slut. I don't believe in it.
I guess the rum and
Pissed
Baja
that she
fucking
took
Mountain
Iron
Dew
Chef
hit.
Sakai's money away from- I think
Yeah,
that's
that
you
was
know,
the half
something
damn
that people
dabs
can
I fucking
understand and
hit.
get behind. But this whole I wasn't upset, but I called her a slut, you know, but people can't advertise, but it's not because I'm worried about losing money stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it doesn't
Welcome
make any
to the
sense 'cause
vortex, you
you don't
fat
have the
idiot.
same belief system. Like, I really
The
am not
same
upset
belief
about.
system.
If I was upset about Iron Chef
What?
Sakai, why would I have banned him?
You live in
Because
your
you're a
own
fag
world,
and can't take
or-
criticism.
Of course, I live in my own world. We all do. We all live in our own moral, values and belief systems. We all have different perspectives on stuff, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I'm about to change
it's
my
okay
perspective
to not
with a fucking
agree on
dad.
something. Like I said, with Iron Chef Sakai, I appreciate everything that he did for myself and my business. I really do.
Let me ask you something.
But I banned him for a reason, because I had enough.
But the thing is, you advertise yourself in like my chat, or you did for a while.
He did.
Should I?
I mean, he might have forgot about it because he
If you
was
felt
gin
like you
drunk.
wanted to,
but
sure.
Hey, all right.
And you had the right to.
Maybe you're drinking margaritas with Cat.
Would you want?
And Cat was kicking him on the couch.
It's up to you. It's your call. There's other people who I'm friendly with, and they have come in and advertised stuff in my chat, and because I'm friendly with them, I say that's allowed.
What?
Right. Can you just about losing money and
I'm not.
Dude,
I am literally
that's
not.
Funny. That's funny. That's funny. PPP does that same thing to fucking Andy when Andy goes on some retard rant about some stupid nonsense. All he does is go, right, and keep talking. You get the doctor note, right. And he waits. And then he continues pushing the subject. It's great. He does it to Andy. He's doing it to Phil again. He's done it to Phil in the past, too. Pay attention to that one. That's a nice little low-key fucking fun time.
He's upset about that.
So it has nothing to do with the money. So is it that she's a woman?
No. I don't like predatory content. I don't like predatory content. I
You
never have.
are predatory content, though.
A level of content out there that's very exploitative.
When you show up on stream and tell me about how depressed you are, behind the scenes stuff that has no issues to do with you, your wife, your cat, your other fucking cat son, it doesn't matter, but you are the king, as Trian's putting it in chat, of predatory content. You were the king of suffering. You were just fucking, I can't even do laundry, bro. I don't even know how. I don't even know how to exist, just breathe. I don't know how. I wish Puma wrote a fucking guide on how to be a mature adult, but they fucking don't. And you gotta figure it out. Life, everybody wants to gamify life. Everybody wants to, I'm on level 1. I'm on level this. Fuck that shit. Life ain't like that, man. You don't get no strategy. There's no fucking playbook to that shit. You just gotta fucking go. And this guy is fucking sitting here pretending like he doesn't care about what goes on in his chat. All the promotions that people fucking give. He fucking cares. He fucking cares a lot. You can't go here. Lex put up a great stream today. Fuck off. Get banned. I'm not that passionate about gaming anymore. Get banned. It's ban. That's all it is. Gone. Forever.
That takes advantage of certain people. Okay.
Can you imagine the day if Phil hit 6 million bans on Kick?
Contradictory for yourself. My content, you know what you're going to get when you come on my stream.
Begging.
There's no misrepresentations of anything.
Yes,
you know that we're not going to be close personal friends or
bullshit.
anything.
You call people your friends all the
know
time.
That if you support my content will continue. So if you like me and my content and you want to see it continue and you want to support improvement, support my content.
You say stuff like it's a drama-free show. I mean,
that's a lie.
I don't get that because there's drama.
It's a fucking straight lie.
Whether it's you going after Review Tech USA,
can we hit the goal? Probably not. That's okay.
With me,
I'll open my
whether
packs
it's
of hockey
talking
cards
about
later.
Keemstar or you calling this Lex girl
a bottom for me.
Like, of course you participate in drama.
But it's not the focus. That's right, but it's not the focus.
What?
But, I mean, listen, I'll be real. I think you should do more of that.
Oh, I know.
Because I think it's a lot more entertaining. And I feel like this
she's real far away from that seal. She ain't no e-thought. She's just a lady who streams.
Very entertaining. I feel like a lot of people are entertained and captivated by it.
But I will make an observation now, okay? This segment has now gone on for about 45 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, we went about 15 minutes over what I wanted to go. But
we have received during this segment about $5 in contributions. My audience doesn't care about this. They never did. They want to hang out.
But they bring it up daily. What are we talking about? Anytime where anything happens, your audience brings it up.
Here's my point. I think that your audience, it's kind of like a sinking ship in a way.
Yes.
You have your core supporters, but as time they get peeled off. And eventually you're going to have to expand into a new audience, into new horizons. Because you can't rely on the same 20 people forever, sir.
It's 2 to 3.
If you're just doing these gameplays
like
20,
you're doing in this
oversaturated market, it's not going to grow, King.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, like, I maybe I'm coming across as a prick or an asshole, but I'm genuinely trying to help you try and, like, reach a new audience.
Like, that sounds very genuine from PPP.
That might actually be entertained.
I mean, that's why PPP brought Phil in, is to try to give him a new audience. And Phil's fumbled that fucking
as much as people say
time.
shit like, you know, the Keno Casino is just messing with you. They're going to snake you. They actually don't like you.
You're going to snake yourself.
I actually feel like it's the opposite. It's that you want to help me, but you see the kind of person I am, that I'm a stubborn individual.
It's not stubborn. It's retarded.
I won't change, right?
Brutal. It's brutal. No, Phil, it's fucking brutal, bro.
Imagine you're working with this guy on a weekly basis, and it's
people
killing
say I'm
PPP.
Not self-aware. I am fully self-aware of all of this going on. I'm not stupid.
Imagine how many Percocets it would take for him to feel better after the stream. Jesus.
No, this doesn't work for me, brother. Okay, what about the... No, brother, like... Or, you know, he does do it, but it takes a long time. It's tough. You know, like, working with Phil is draining. It sucks my soul. And it's not your fault entirely, Phil. It's also everybody around you. Everybody involved in all of this shit is fucked in the head, including me and you.
Here's the truth.
It's just like a bastion of mental illness, like a fucking asylum.
If we were just able to work together and do the fun content that we think would work, but we can't.
If that's the asylum,
every moment we gotta wonder we
got major issues.
Who's going to spin it this way?
Honest.
Will they support it or not? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
Detractors run this
asylum. We can just do stuff that we think will work. You always got to have this.
They are the influence to Phil's vortex.
What about the sphere, the vortex? How's that going to affect it?
This is what I think has happened. Is that, you know, if you watch like Kitchen Nightmares, and Chef Ramsay will come in, and there was somebody who was talented, but the chef will say, "You lost your passion." To me, it feels like you lost your passion. It feels to me like you lost.
Didn't Lucky Grimley get banned for saying just that the other day?
And wanting to make good stuff.
That Phil
and you just serve up
has no passion anymore.
Shitty slop just to pump it out 6 days a fucking week and fill the schedule.
And he got banned for it?
Your passion is gone, and it's probably been gone for 7 or 8 years now. That's my assessment.
I lost my passion in 2016. When I was doing the offline style videos, I basically was streaming, but I was actually ignoring the audience. Like, imagine I literally didn't address anyone. You just
collect money.
Contributed to nothing. Like, that's how I was streaming. I mean, what a dunce move,
That's the biggest problem. You just show up and collect your cash, and then you're like,
I started
thanks.
talking with the audience and having these social conversations and shout outs. The content changed much for the better. And I like who I am now. I like the content I put out now, and my audience does. Now, you're right. I'm not going to have the same size of audience forever.
Well, that's because Gremlin wanted to post it up. Oh, fuck you, man. Or you block. Yeah, I can't block.
And I am trying to slowly try to transition into other things, as everyone is seeing. There's different content, different things I'm doing.
I gotta ban those ads because they
17 years.
They're on my stream.
Overnight change. It's not something I want to do
other
overnight.
Video
because I like what I'm doing before as well.
Thanks, Snort Hogan, for having ads on your video.
I think we'll do more.
Making a super.
But I also don't want to become Mr. Drama overnight. You know what I'm saying?
I just think when I
Brave, haven't used Brave in a while, maybe
the first time, and then we had the interview, or not the interview, but the co-op reacted.
I'll switch to Brave.
And then we had the Josh.
I've used Brave before in the past.
There was so much momentum.
Help us
and such a groundswell of people that were going to give you a second look, a second opportunity.
I fucking hate the ads on YouTube. They piss me the fuck off, man.
That opportunity.
I'm trying to sleep, and they try to give me some fucking like
a lot of people that said
audio story fucking thing. I'm like, fuck that.
It fell through. But ultimately, it falls.
It's like an hour-long ad. I'm like,
produce a product that is going to hold people's attention.
I just want to listen to Joe Rogan talk about conspiracy theories so I can fall asleep.
Fans. And you had such a good opportunity, and I just feel like you let it slip right through your fingers because you were too comfortable clinging to what you do now, which. It
wasn't about comfort. It was more like
50 is coming, Phil.
Phil didn't see the revenue.
60,
Phil doesn't see success.
Thinking, like,
he backs off.
60
we go back to that same level.
Call of Duty.
That's why he's stuck there.
Is that your life?
Of course not. And
you
I'm
might
trying
lose
to prepare my
experience
audience for
points
that.
if you take a
I've been
hit
telling
on
them for
level
years,
2.
This is why I need to diversify and do other
level
things.
2.
And there's a lot of pushback when you're someone who's doing a certain kind of content for so long, and that's what got you notoriety, and that's why you have a long-standing, hardcore, positive fan base that will stand by you through thick and thin, and all these years of bullshit.
They're not that
it's
positive,
tough.
man.
It is. I wish it
when your fan base consists of like Craig KK,
I can't just abandon
Garish,
everyone
people
who
like
I've
that,
worked with,
no
and
sleep,
real
real
vibes for all
vibes.
these years. But at the
I don't
same
know.
time, they know that. I
Vincent?
told them this is why I have a podcast now.
Wrestle
instead of just
Boy,
playing games.
PW,
This is why I want
whatever,
to branch
dude.
out and do different kinds of
canceled
commentary
his
shows.
interview with
This is
Judy
why I
actually.
need to branch out and do interviews. It has to happen.
Like,
It
all
can't
these
just be
people are
me sitting
filled
here playing games
fans.
till I'm
It's
dead.
fucked.
I'm not going to be
Otherwise,
able to.
you
I'm
get
gonna
LARPers
carpal
and
tunnel,
cucks.
right? I can't do it anymore. And I know that. And I've said that to them many
Those
times.
genuine fans
it
are
is
like Sidella.
I totally get where you're coming from. I
It's
do.
rough, man.
It's a valid conversation. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the fact that you
No,
have
you
given
don't.
me
If you appreciate the
chance.
effort of somebody
You
who's
continue
standing
to
up
give
and
us a
telling you,
chance. We're
hey,
still
man,
working
you're
together
fucking
and doing
up.
stuff, you know?
And you don't
we've
do
had
anything
this
about it, and they come back to you next week
privately,
and you go, oh,
but
yeah,
I feel like
that's
it
what
comes
it
to the
is.
point because a lot of people don't understand like what
Oh,
I'm
no.
trying to do with Phil content or interacting
Come here.
with you.
JD's a real based
interacting
one.
with the rest
We
of
love
the
Jade.
Vortex and the
He's good
community.
at Moon Knight
and
and
I just
Marvel
kinda wanna
Rivals,
put
and I like
the
to play video
cards on
games
the
with Jade.
table publicly as
Big ups, Jade.
to where I am.
I don't
with
like
it
to
and
play
how
video
I
games with
view
Jade's
you
mom, though.
and how I view
So she
this
plays
whole
Magic,
thing going
and she
down
sucks
and where I'd like it to
at
go.
attacking all
You
the
know,
Loki
because I think
clones,
a lot
and
of
it makes
people
me
are
feel mad.
confused, and that that's because there's kayfabe, and sometimes not. Of course,
Dude,
most
Jack's
of the
Racker's
time,
been
the things
around
I'm saying
forever,
are meant to
man.
be taken literally.
Him,
But
Darius was like
I genuinely
13.
think, Phil, that if you
Like,
don't make
shit's been a
some
problem
real
for a long time.
changes real soon.
It's just
and
people
get
chose to not bring him up and
passionate
just
about what
laugh
you're
at him.
doing for your job and excited about it again, you're going to be in a really,
I mean,
really
remember
bad spot,
BSV?
bro. And
I
you
heard
are
Jack's got a car.
considered one of the treasures of the internet.
Timbo's
And
around
you
on the
don't
sock. I
wanna-
believe
some people
Timbo's the
wanna see
guy
you
who
in a
does
really
the
bad
gross,
place,
like,
and they wanna
gorilla
see you
anus
homeless, and they want to
ones.
see you die.
Gorilla
And,
anus,
sometimes I
steamy
understand
feces
why.
names.
But I don't
I
want
believe
that
that's
for
to be
you.
Timbo's
Even
slice
though I
working on his
understand
next
sometimes why
bankruptcy.
they hate you so much.
Working on 4,
because
dude.
sometimes you just
He's
do
at
shit
3.
that's so retarded.
Big
I
Papa
don't
Phil
wanna
is
see you
another
die,
one that
Phil.
fits that.
I want to see
Yeah,
you
you're right,
succeed.
Steve.
I want to see you
I'd
win.
say that's
I want
Timbo.
to see you prosperous.
Walrus nipples, yeah,
I want
that's
to see
Timbo.
the whole community, the whole
I think
vortex
Timbo's an OG
excited
who
and
can't
having
leave.
fun.
Because
And that's what I want.
he didn't get the
So
respect from
that's
detractors
why
when he showed up and cried on
decided
Kiwi
to,
Farms.
to go
and he got
off a
clocked.
little bit more tonight.
People are like, dude, you're in
all
multiple
good.
bankruptcies over
It's totally all
supporting
good.
this fucking idiot.
And I think this is more transparency for
are
the
a
viewers
dumb
too,
fucking
because
cunt.
a lot
Leave.
of them seriously
And
think that
he's
you
still here?
guys are like trying to screw me and stuff, which I
think
know
he left.
neither you or Andy are. I know that, but they don't see that, right? They don't hear this. They think there's some evil plot behind it.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Bankrupt
for me,
over a
it's
streamer,
gonna be
bro, on the
a
internet.
slower
It's insane.
process, but I think that we'll
Like,
get there.
you
It's
need
just a
help,
matter
bro.
of time and finding the right way to do it. Because again, it's a tricky thing for me. I easily could have jumped fully into the drama stuff back in the fall, right? When we were hot with it. We were. But what I started to see from my core audience, the people who were there every day to support me, was saying, Phil, what are you doing? This is not what we want for you. This is not, this is not who you are. And if you do this, we're gonna leave. And I can't just have the people who made me who I am today upset and leave at the same time. I
They've
know I
left.
can't play
They've
games
left
forever.
long ago.
It's gotta
Anybody
be a
who
balance.
genuinely
And that's,
cares
everyone
about
wants
Phil
me to
and
run
his
million miles an
streaming
hour towards
have gone.
change. I want
They're
to do
gone.
things differently, but it's
Maybe
got to be a
Timbo, maybe
balanced
Derek.
process, and we will get there.
Those kind of people.
What we gotta
Everybody
have
else
is
is
you
gone,
stick
man.
to something, man. You gotta stick to something, because it's like the politics show. It's a novelty, and then the money falls off, and you're like, fuck it. The Lego stream, it might be the same thing. It's like a novelty. It does what.
That's
and then
gonna
you
die.
just let it fucking go. But you have to stick with these things sometimes. Like with the wrestling show, we've managed to stick with it.
Yeah, but
even
that's
though
you,
there's been slow
PPP,
weeks, there's
dragging
been
Phil
good
out
weeks,
here to
and
do
I
this
think that that's
show.
a good thing.
Because you want to drag
but
him over
you can't just
the goals
start off in one
for
direction
your own
and then,
entertainment. Because
fuck it,
you
it's
get
no
to voice
good.
the opinions
You know
of
what I mean?
detractors
Like I
at this
feel
point.
like you do that a lot of the time.
It's very
you know?
interesting how PPP is now the
It's hard
mouthpiece
because
of
I don't
detractors.
really feel like
without
anything
really
that I've
talking
tried
a lot of
has had the
detractors.
long-term success that I would, you know what I mean? Like you guys,
That just
your
means
show
that
does
you're
so
able to
good.
voice your
And
opinion well
nothing
enough
that I
on
do
Twitter
really sticks
or other
around.
videos
Besides the
and
consistent
stuff
shit
that
that
he has to pay
I
attention
agree,
to.
will go into
Is
decline.
Fred still around?
These
That's a
efforts
good
that
question.
I've tried to do new
and
stuff
I would
haven't
say
really
yes.
worked. I've tried different interviews. They kind of flopped. They didn't really work.
I don't know if you get that invested into something like that.
They want to
and
dodge,
don't
right? It's like, come on,
fucking stick
man.
around.
I want to do this stuff. I do.
Even if you're quiet
I was
and
willing
never
to
say
do
anything.
it. And then it's just like,
It's
it
kind
really
of the
worth
same
it?
boat for Derek.
And I hear you.
Derek's
Like, it
probably
feels
still
like I
around.
went right back to square one, but at the same
On a
time,
sock, hiding.
I'm doing
never
good.
talking
I'm
again
actually
because
doing
you
better than I was, which is
Yeah.
great. But I agree with you that there has to be some changes too. You know, I'm with you on this. I
I
am.
don't know, man. We just go like completely outside the box. I don't know.
More ads. All right, dude. What's this one? Sea of Conquest. Better pay me up, son.
Maybe we do fucking workout streams.
Got 2 minutes
Maybe
left on
we
this video, and then I'll play a
fucking
random
walking around the
Balatro.
neighborhood live stream. I don't know.
Keep pushing it.
But we gotta find something for you, man. We gotta find something for you that you can do comfortably and successfully and grow your audience, because it's just, I'm just worried for you, man. I just genuinely am worried for you. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. I really do. People think that like I'm dumb and you're
You are.
fooling me, and then people think that you're some
He
evil
is.
person trying to mess with me. I don't think, neither
Yes.
is true. But that's what the drama queens want to believe, But I don't think that's the case at all. By
Even
the way,
if
we did get
PPP's
a
trying
lot
to
of
be
support,
genuine
and I do gotta
here,
get out of
he
here.
needs to realize
So-
eventually
I
that
know,
the
I
struggle's
kept
real
you waiting
and Phil
too
will
Do
long.
final
never
shout
approve.
outs here.
Now
And
we
this
got
is
into
just
the
a hopeless
sad
cause.
moral lecture bullshit. But, it's supposed to be a wrestling show there, folks. And I think, what do you want to do? Do you want to do Raw next week, Phil? Or do you want to do NXT as well? Or do you want to do Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah, let's do 2 shows. I'm down for either Raw and SmackDown or Raw and NXT. What do you think? I'll do 2 shows next week. A double.
Let's do Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
I think. And then let's just see, because then we'll get a broader perspective on the whole situation, because we've been missing out on half the storyline. So
Well, that was fun. I think we're wrapping it up there. So that was a great time. I'm glad we got to watch that for the Q&A segment of my stream, where I don't care if we even answered a single Q&A question, and if we did, I don't care. So we're gonna move on and start something else. And I got Balatro here ready for some stuff, but I think I'll make a phone call real quick. See if my man wants to show up. Might have to do some fandangling at the Oh, hello? Sir?
Hello?
Oh, hello. I believe
Hey, how you doing, man?
a little loud here, so let me adjust your volume on my end.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, how's it going? GTG, thank you for stopping by.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you having me.
Have you seen that whole segment with Grill Phil and stuff like that as I load up my round of Balatro here?
Nice.
It should be fun. But how have you been?
I've been alright, man. How about yourself?
Great. Just trying to content farm. This year's been real content farming year, and I really want to harness that power and really make some steps forward.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I see you making all your videos. Do you have a name for that segment yet?
Nah, not at all.
Not yet. Oh man.
Nah, I've had some good suggestions though.
Okay. That's always a good way to do it.
Yeah, I've had some great suggestions, but no, not yet. I don't. I have no clue, man. Like, to be honest with you, like the content comes in so quickly that I don't know. I'll figure it out sooner than later.
Dude, it's been a whirlwind right now. Did you get to watch any of this, Grill Phil?
Yeah, I saw that I saw the Grill Phil segment. Big ups to everybody in chat, by the way. Sorry about that. But I got to see the Grill Phil chat the day after it came out, and so I did the I'll name the segment later, and then I end up following up with the actual video itself. I didn't go over the whole segment, really just that therapy session towards the end.
Okay. Yeah, that's a weird one. I mean, I think PPP really came at Phil this week. Really kind of stuck it to him. And he did have a very big stance on calling Lex a slut. And I think that's fair for anybody.
Oh, yeah. But it exposes an obvious bias that DSP has as it pertains to females and males and whatnot. And he's essentially, PPP could have literally called him out as being gay, but I think he went a more creative way about doing it, being like, do you feel that you're you're dumber or you're unintelligent than a female? And he kind of played off that narrative, and he really exposed, I think, some of DSP's insecurities and forced him to face it. And obviously, DSP couldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think Phil can face a lot of criticism about his interactions with people outside of his control at this point.
Well, I got to be honest with you. Even within his own little bubble, I don't see a whole lot of control being exercised anymore. I mean, granted, over the span of years, you know what I'm saying? We've been around, we've seen a lot, but I'd say he has less control now than he's ever had. You know what I'm saying? Like the barbarians are very much at the gate.
Yeah, you get Kick Chat running wild, saying whatever they want. Remind me of IRC Chat, Big Ups Freedom Chat back in the day.
Agreed.
You have mods that don't do anything over there. Mods on YouTube who don't show up. Phil's pretty much the only person who gets to ban anybody from its existence anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of grasping at straws as far as content goes, in my opinion. Like,
content's dead.
the
content's as dead as it's ever been.
Like, he brags about getting 2K views on videos that were like a highlight of his nonsense during his therapy sessions in the mornings, and he thinks it's a hot point. And it's like, dude, you're not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
It's a weird spot to be in because you've seen him for so long struggle with all these things, and he's just trying to maintain, I guess. I really don't know where it's going towards.
Well, DSP's too scared to actually branch out and do anything because, I mean, inevitably he's going to fail. And if he does find success in anything, he's gonna basically drive it into the ground. Or he's going to get paranoid that if he finds success somewhere else, he may not be able to go back to whatever his grounding or staple or roots are, which it doesn't matter. You're at the bottom of the barrel, beneath the barrel, to be honest. Everybody else has already lapped you. You know what I'm saying? Just, get out there and actually do something. But then, in that same thought, if he does branch out, then he opens himself up to a whole new group of people to laugh at him, mock him, and then possibly even do more content on him. So he's literally in a catch-22 because he's screwed if he doesn't do anything. But he's more than likely going to get even more screwed if he does. So he doesn't have any moves, to be honest with you.
So we're out of moves here. We're on the chessboard. And PPP is trying to tell him, hey, man, you really need to think about your next moves. You don't have a lot of time.
Right.
Do you think PPP can pull strings and rug pull Phil financially at this point?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Yeah, it's tough one because you got to think Kino dents are keeping him afloat for the most part.
Yeah, but that's not going to last forever because, like, once the Kino boys basically start to get moving and get back to work, there's a lot that's going on right now that they need to start getting into and start hyper focusing on, especially before the summer, which is when I think their next big break or whatever's coming up. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. There is nothing that they can present to DSP that he's going to fully commit to. Like, for example, the situation right now with Sly and Review Tech USA. That's a wealth of that's literally a wealth of shit that DSP should be trying to go over, and he can literally hit both sides if he wants, but he can farm that for all the content that he could ever ask for. The thing is, though, is he has no clue on how to approach that. PPP will have to lay down the groundwork and basically walk him down the road of, okay, this is how you attack this detractor, this is how you attack Rich, this is how, you know what I'm saying, this is how you approach their conflict and what they're doing, this is how you come to a conclusion on who's going to actually win this or whatever, or how much of an autism spectrum it's going to end up turning to, or spectacle, I should say. DSP is so used to being carried that putting him on the path just isn't enough anymore. You have to walk him, literally put training wheels on him, and you got to walk him through it. And no one has time for that. Like, that's dead weight.
It's got to be rough. I mean, PPP is finding out the struggle of how to make Phil entertaining. It's just a monumental task at this point. Phil has sandbagged his own content, his own playthroughs to cut detractor content in half, to kneecap people, and it hasn't worked. I mean, there's been times back in the day when he was playing like GTA and he'd been on the final mission, and that shit would take him like an hour and a half to pull off because he would just die in some dumb way at the end of the mission, blame the game, and get back to it. Like, I find his sandbagging is starting to bleed into his actual efforts in his own streams at this point.
But I think that's what makes it so much more poetic, because to try to remove detractors from the table, he was willing to kneecap himself to do so, which is stupid. You never, you know what I'm saying? You never starve yourself in war, basically, right? You want to, if you got to make some sacrifices. Feed your army,
right?
Yeah, obviously. But like, if you're gonna try to cut off the opposition or the opponent's resources without screwing your own up. DSP is so greedy and so short-sighted and so inept. He thinks, I'll starve you out, or us out, whatever. He'll starve us out, and everything should be, theoretically, so plentiful for him at the end of it. And it just didn't work because he didn't take into account the resourcefulness of his opposition. Like, he didn't take into account how adaptable, I should say, that detractors, trolls, haters, and critics are. And more importantly than that, as he was suffering these negative effects, he didn't realize that in itself was ammunition that could be used against him. So what he perceived to be a good idea and could be possibly a strength ended up being a weakness, and by the time he figured it out, it's already too late. Okay.
So we're at a point where Phil... Do you think Phil's ever going to figure out what he needs to do next, or is he just going to continue copying people to project success at this point? Because I don't know if he's ever defined his success. Has he?
No, he's going to keep doing what he's done because it's what he's comfortable with. DSP is comfortable with his level of failure. He's comfortable with his status, if you even say that he has any. And what little bit of control he believes he has, he's not trying to lose that. Yet again, it's just like what I said in the video earlier today. DSP, if he was to debate any detractor, that being said in particular, he is not going up there to try to win. He's literally going to engage with them so he doesn't lose. That's literally what it comes down to. He cares so much about what his public perception would be speaking to any one of those guys that he's not going to be up there to try to convey a point without it just coming across as just outright lying or trying to play sympathy or trying to hit pignosis. He's literally just fighting a battle not to lose. That's literally what it comes down to. He doesn't have it in game anymore.
So we're just down to the point where we just can't have detractors win.
Basically.
Out of any turn, we can't let detractors win about Derek. We can't let detractors win about how his audience is giving Lex death threats. How some other dude is doing suicide baiting with a little box cutter and some model paint. Saying he's doing it for the community or some shit. Like, these are genuine Phil fans who live and die DSP, in my opinion.
I mean I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It's the tribe that he attracts.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the tribe that he attracts.
I hit on that earlier. I mean, your community is going to mirror your personality at some point. And you're going to have to deal with seeing that reflection. You know, it's like people say, hey man, don't look in the mirror when you're on psychedelics. Don't take an eighth of mushrooms and then go look at the mirror in the bathroom. Because you're going to see a real reflection of yourself, and you're not going to like it, and you're going to have to deal with it.
Right.
And Phil has to see that mirrored into him every single time he turns on his stream or his video comments or anything, his Twitter, any of this stuff, or even his kick chat bannings. It's all in his face, and it's all stuff he has to deal with. And he's just put up the blinders on it.
I don't think it's criticism. Well, it's not just the blinders anymore. Think about all of the lights in the background. Think about all the new things he's purchased or his audience has purchased, whatever. Think about all the new things he has crowded his space with. That's the distraction. That's not just the distraction for the audience, old and potentially new, but for himself. instead of fully facing the mirror and seeing him for what he is, he can sit here and he has all these pretty lights and all this other bullshit to distract him from the failure that he really is. He can always point to something else. He can always let his mind float to something else. It's not about ambiance. He's not trying to create an atmosphere that is similar to what other people have. He thinks he is, but that's not really what he's doing. He's trying to distract himself with what he considers to be the trappings of the success that he should have or the success that he believes he has. And that's actually even more, Steve would probably be the better source on this, but I think that's even more psychologically damning, because all you're doing is, instead of facing reality for what it is and trying to fix the problem, you're throwing up more delusions, more illusions, and more lies to keep his mind stable, to keep himself comfortable, to keep himself complacent. He'll listen to PPP because he has no choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have to go between a detractor or PPP, it's always going to be PPP. And whether PPP is really playing this gimmick of his weekly detractor or whatever, DSP will go ahead and take the beating. You know what I'm saying? He'll let himself be spit on. He'll let himself be crucified, and then he'll go off with his day. But then again, given what happened the next day, where, oh guys, I got stuff going on behind the scenes, that's the aftermath. That's the hangover, if you will, of that conversation with PPP. You know what I'm saying? He can lie to himself all he wants on screen, or on stream, I should say. But when he goes downstairs, he gets that gin and tonic. Every time he sees Cat's face, every time he sees the squalor in his house, every time he sees his fucking declaw cat, he has to, you know what I'm saying? That shit builds up.
Oh, he's got to walk into the garage and look at all the styrofoam containers in front of his car, or like the treadmill that's like just collecting dust at this point.
Yeah.
It's like if you... Oh, that's got to be rough.
It's supposed to be, because like if you think about it, yet again, going back to my opinion or my point about his room and everything, when he's inside that space, he controls everything. He sees what he wants to see. He's the master of his own domain. But once he leaves that room, his office, the spare bedroom, whatever you want to call it, that's where reality hits, and it scares him more than anything. And that's why he invests so much, so to speak, in what's going on in that room, and not in his house, not in his wife, not in his cat, not in their way of living. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to put Band-Aids on everything.
So that's why he's sitting there being like, oh, play it off. Oh, when PPP goes, oh, that's Piper Niven. She looks like Cat. And it's like, oh. And then Phil's like, oh, you know, that's mean. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Kind of brushes him off because he doesn't want that confrontation to that reality. Hey, man, your wife's a fat bitch, and you make fun of fat people all the fucking time. And it's you who fucking can't handle that. I mean, it's got to sting every single moment of the day when Phil's banning people on KickChat, arguing people on Twitter, being mad about comments that he has to read and fucking deflect from. His life is so pinned to this office. It is so intact here that he has nowhere else to be himself. And that's why you're getting fucking True Phil to bleed into today's streams. Is he has nowhere else to be himself. This is his therapy lounge. Yep. You and I and anybody else who views it, they are his therapist at this point. He has no window. He can't go out there be talking to Cat. Cat goes, I don't care. Did you make enough money for DoorDash? I don't care. Feed me, motherfucker. I don't care. Let's go out to Bahama Breeze and get margaritas and mojitos. Like, she don't care. She's living it up. She doesn't even have to interact here anymore. She's done. I don't think you'll ever see her back on stream.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Not unless she makes like a drastic change in like her lifestyle and shit. But then, excuse me.
Yeah, but when you have pizza for a snack at night, it's not going to change.
No, not at all. But it also comes back down to what I say about her complacency and her being comfortable. Unless she wakes up one day and realizes, hey, I can't live like this anymore, and I have to make changes, which if she hasn't done it yet, she more than likely isn't going to. Yeah. Then it is what it is, bro. You know, it is what it is. One.
I mean, a lot of people go, oh, you can't make fun of Cat. I think Cat's a big part of his content at this point.
Cat?
Oh, it's not any, I'm having behind the scenes issues with this and that and this. Oh, but it's not something to do with Cat. Why bring her up? You don't want her talked about. You don't want her even mentioned by people. You bring her up
because she's a
You know, a thing to build off some pity bucks.
Yeah, she's a beacon of sympathy when needed, and she's a deflection the rest of the time. Like, pure and simple. And on top of the fact that he has to see the comments that say, "Well, look at what you did to her." He may not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what really has to shake him, and that's what I'm really waiting for PPP to kind of home in on eventually. Is that, you know, hey, you brought this woman out of, allegedly, air quotes, a bad situation, and in 5 years, look at where she's at.
Yeah, did you find the restraining order? Did you find the restraining order on her, though?
Man, I don't got time for that.
Did you talk to Beth Bear?
I mean, shit, if that's the case, man, put her in therapy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have her, like, go ahead and get her checked out. Like, get her some help. Instead, you chose to have her vegetate and basically eat herself into a position where she couldn't leave you, because now she doesn't have the looks nor the motivation, the motivation, nor the capability, really, to actually go out there and be able to fend for herself. And I think the people who want to be white knights for Kat, that's the part that you guys have to really look at. He kneecapped her. He basically made her disabled in the most malicious way possible. And he only brings her up there to profit. You can feel bad for her all you want, but you have to understand this is a package deal. She knew what this was going to be all about. That's why he made her quit her own content in the first place. You know what I mean?
Leave Facebook, disappear from your streams, no social media on Twitter anymore. You can't talk to anybody.
No.
I've never seen somebody fucking mentally hobble a horse.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it is funny.
Like,
sorry, but I'm not
seriously, we're in misery territory.
Yeah, we are.
And we're just fucking ruined. I'll big up, Jordan.
I mean,
what's up, man? Thanks for the 2 piece.
Yet again, man. If it's a way to keep her from leaving.
Not the respect the pack guys. Well, they tried. They just wanted money, man. Cloud don't mean much.
The respect the pack deal was just blatant bullshit.
Dude,
like the fact that he still lives by that now still is absolute mindfuckery to me.
But I'm not surprised by it. I think anything that Phil can manipulate to build the narrative that he is, you know, a victim is where he's going to go. Because he has nowhere else to go. He's like the fucking rat in the bucket, and you placed it on somebody, and you have a fucking blowtorch to that shit. He's only going to go down.
Right.
I mean, look at where Rich is going. Rich is at the point where he can't even sink Phil. I don't think Rich can grab a hold of Phil and drag him lower. I really don't.
Okay. Well, okay, so here's the thing about Rich, right? So, like, over a year ago, everything that's happening to that ass clown right now, I said this was going to happen. I said it was going to happen damn near in the exact same way as it is.
We've definitely talked about it, that's for sure.
Yeah, we did. And I spoke about it on stream a few times. But, like, if Rich does get this tattoo, which he kind of has to now because he's been paid to do it. If he gets that tattoo, he's branded as a slave to DSP for the rest of his life.
Damn.
And think about that. A lol cow is getting another lol cow tattooed on them.
Yeah.
You're allowing yourself to be branded. You can call it a meme. You can go ahead and have your Castlevania thing up there to try to give it some type of structure and depth or whatever. But the truth is, Review Tech USA is branding himself. He's no different than any other dent in DSP's fucking fan base if they had the actual courage to get DSP tattooed on their body somewhere. That's all it is. Gosh. That's all. There is no gimmick to it. There is no haha, it's funny. It's weird. It's creepy really as shit.
It'd be like your ex tattooing your initials on her.
Exactly.
Like, hey man, that's real weird. Like, I ain't with you like that. I don't want to fucking see that. Like, that's fucking odd. Like, what are we doing?
It's a crazy X type shit.
I mean, I still think that Rich is going to go back to Keem eventually because he has nothing left.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just like I think all roads lead to Keem, and I'm still working on a video about this whole thing with the lol Calverse and everything like that. It's just, every time I fucking peek at it more and more, it just makes me ask questions like, why does Keem have a kid behind the camera who's a fucking certified pedo chilling there? Why does he have ownership in lolcow Queens? Why does he have anything to do with it? Why can't Becky buy her ownership? Did she buy ownership into her own product at this point? Maybe.
I think that's why she wants to. I think that's why she wants a separate show entirely. To be honest,
yeah, and it's a bunch of moving parts, and he's collecting Rich. I mean, I think Team's overall goal is to still get DSP to show up there eventually.
Agreed.
Because you need detractors to push your product to. You need to hit eyes on it, and people will watch it. People will be captivated by it.
Oh yeah,
but harnessing the power of that kind of autism is a struggle. Like there's
really
not too many people who can harness, a Sweetie Squad or somebody else like that who will give you a diehard appearance every single time you show up. It's just, it doesn't happen too often. But that's, again, from building a community of people that you acquire over years. That's what happens. And Phil still doesn't understand it. He's just a copy and a clone of different aspects of different people he's ran into.
Well, Keem didn't understand it too. He thought if he could buy a DSP, if he thought he could get Wings, if he thought he could get Boogie, he was literally just buying their audience. He was buying their communities, and he thought he would bring them in. And I think now he understands that DSP is the keystone in that particular situation. But at the same time, though, too, there's a bunch of different moving parts on this side of the fence, too. So I don't know if he's taking enough account into that. I don't know if that's duty that's not giving him enough perspective, or maybe he is. I don't know. But there's a lot of moving parts that's going on over here to try to make that work. Like, you guys had a chance, X amount of months ago, and you screwed the pooch. So now you have to, for whatever reason, or not whatever reason, for whatever people think, the DSP detractor community does evolve, right? And it does shift. If Keem does not figure out what his spot is to take advantage of that shift, then he's just going to have to continue to wait.
Is he going to just wait for a shift, or do you think he's being proactive to try to encourage detractors to interact with the content, like I believe PPP is?
He's not trying to do it with the DSP detractor community at the moment. Like, what he's trying to do, at least the way I see it, as it pertains to the girl world, is he's trying to focus on Yo Mama, because Yo Mama's been a simp over there anyway. But Yo Mama's he wants to try to get his own show going. Keem sounds like he's willing to give it to him, but Yo Mama doesn't want to do it unless he can get Amberlynn Reed and or Chantel on there. Realistically, he needs both. He believes that he can bring them to the table. If he can do that, he can bring in more of the anti-reactors, and then he thinks he can bring the actual reactors in, and he can have his own little blood sport type situation all based on his show. But he can only do it if he can get Amberlynn Reed and Chantel locked in a contract, committed to the show to make that happen. In the exact same way, and I got some pushback for this, and I understand why some people think that, one of the main things was people thought I was overthinking it. And I can understand why people would think that. But it's the same type of situation, or it's a similar situation, I should say, to what is going on with Becky Boop and DSP. If I'm telling you, man, if Becky can lock his ass in on one episode of Lolcow Queens, Keem will give her whatever the fuck she wants. All she has to do is get him there. If she can get DSP to the table for 90 minutes.
90-minute tea party with DSP? Yeah, I think it would certify her into, like, hey, you actually did this thing. You have value to me.
Yeah, exactly. She would show that she has actual value. Well, she would have real longevity, I should say. Or in the Lolcow network, or whatever the fuck he's basically calling it. If that happens, that definitely allows her to get her own show besides Lolcow Queens. That's outside of Mike, who owns half of the show, as you know, and all that. That gives her some real ownership. Now she has some leverage in the actual Lolcow network itself. And that's what she wants. Because Becky's at this point where she needs equity. Like, she needs real stability and equity. The only way she can do that is if she has a show that's actually her own, and she can actually start making decisions. Because we know that she can carry a show, even though I think Tina's actually the driving force behind Lolcow Queens. But if she can actually get that equity, then she has real ground that she could cover. And like you just said, this shows Keem, okay, bet, I know you can get things done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you've been able to carry other shows. You've been able to bring in people who like BBWs, and because that's really why she's there, and all that. So that's now true. I know I have faith in you that I can get you on the show and then get you into this company.
I also think it's very interesting that she's trying to leverage it and she is manipulating Phil then. And that she's playing into his ideals. Oh, it's like the light flirting. It's the light little touches here. That she's going to drum up and get him in. Oh, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. You can come here. Kim has no playing into this.
Well, he's never been approached by a female before. And so you get a woman who is coming across to you as submissive, yet rather intelligent, and who wants to hear you out, who wants to hear your story, who you yourself have never really heard much of, so you can manipulate and weave whatever phantom snorts you want, whatever pygnosis you feel comfortable with, and you think she'll eat it up hook, line, and sinker.
I also think it helps her that she's rich adjacent.
Yeah, that's the real payoff. But let's go through some of the qualities. Because she's a female, because she's a bit larger, so she does give him that mommy. I'm sorry, that wifey appeal. Sorry about that.
It happens.
Yeah, I apologize, man. That wifey appeal and whatnot. The fact that she is fairly attractive, at least to most people. The fact that she will soften her tone and she'll come across as what's the word? She's not as intimidating, I should say. It plays to his ego. It plays to the fact that, you know what, I still am attractive. I still am someone that women desire, or whatever the case may be. And if she's just willing to hear me out, if she can get him going for like 5 or 10 minutes, she'll melt in his hand. And Rich is just Rich, even though I think that's the draw, that's what's going to continue to drop his defenses. And if he can pull her once, if Becky can pull him onto a show once, she can probably do it again. And that's what Keem's looking at. Okay, can you get him to the table? Okay, can you get him on the show? If you can get him back on the show once, can you get him again? You know what I mean? And then Rich is a bitch, so maybe somewhere down the line, hey, DSP, you come on the show multiple times, we've had some great conversations and whatnot. How would you like to actually confront Rich here? How would you like to do that? You could actually confront him on my show and whatnot, and I'll be impartial and whatnot, and I won't let anybody pull any bullshit on you, and it's just you and Rich one-on-one, and you guys can talk it out, and I'll kind of, I'll be the mediator in that bullshit. It could happen.
It's very likely. I might put that on my bingo card for this year then.
It could happen.
Honest,
and see the thing.
It could happen.
And see, but there's a problem too. Well, it's not a problem, but there's a thing. This is where Duty screwed up. Because Duty didn't... Rich is Duty's in-house locale. Let's call it what it is. If he had allowed Rich to go out there and have the interview with DSP initially, whether he triumphed or he flopped, whatever, if he had let that happen, and this whole Becky thing was still in play and was something that was going to happen later on down the line, that would give Duty so much more leverage as it pertains to Keem, as it pertains to Lolcow Network, this, that, and the third. It gives him so much more. It would have given him so much more leverage if he was willing to look down the line. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you and me talk about a lot, is about, long-term thinking, right? And looking at and trying to look at all your opportunities, not just what's in front of you.
I really do think long-term thinking in the vortex is hard to pull, because you either have to be around long enough to understand people's mannerisms when they're here, or you have to understand that they're just a tourist passing through.
Well, yes, actually, you're absolutely right. It speaks to the volatility of the community as a whole, right? Like, people come and go, it's a real transient type community, if you will, and whatnot, whether for whatever reason. On top of that, because of inner conflicts and whatever makes things complicated, and truth be told, DSP is such an autism magnet that people live very much into the day-to-day of what's going on. You and I understand that, you know what I'm saying? Going back to the escort saga, like, you literally had to live day-to-day until, and only a few people were really willing to, get into speculation, because we didn't have a lot of information. We kind of live in a detractor community currently, where everybody wants receipts. Whereas when you and I came up, it was really about speculating. And that speculation, in a lot of ways, and a lot of times, actually drove the content, and DSP kind of fell right into it because he had nowhere else to go. He didn't have any real cards to play. Now that it's all about evidence, now they're starting to cut deeper. It's starting to cut a lot deeper to the quick on DSP. Now he has to really try to close himself off. But what most people aren't understanding is a lot of the speculation from all those years ago are coming back into play. So now we've gotten to this median, or we're getting there, to where a lot of the speculation from detractors in the past are now coming into play with people who have figured out ways to gather the evidence or try to verify shit. And now eventually, I hope, we get to the point where a lot of this old lore, no matter whether it's from the FGC, whether it's early YouTube, whether it's people who dealt with him on Blip, whatever, a lot of that stuff can actually be corroborated, and we can actually get some confirmation on shit. The closer we get to the truth, the smaller and smaller and smaller that box DSP actually falls into. And because all these documentaries are always made on him that touch on certain shit, or certain stuff, I should say, people are starting to chase those individual things down to see what's what. That right there this is probably the worst position DSP has probably ever been in, if you think about it.
Do you think he is at fault for putting himself there?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely. Because DSP doesn't think in the long term. So he automatically applies that way of thinking to his opposition. It's like, oh, you guys will just eat off whatever I give you for the day, and that's it. Not realizing that his lore is by far the worst thing against him. The sins of past Phil and the sins that he's currently committing, right, is going to fuck over future Phil. And he's never figured that out. He's like any other lolcow. Oh, what I did 2 weeks ago is what I did. It's in the past. I don't think about it. I don't care about it. Until someone forces him to care. And now we just start getting into the lies. Now we start getting to the excuses. Now he starts like slipping and falling over shit, trying to make sense of, okay, how do I just get this to stop? Instead of just deading it and just being honest, he has to figure out how he can stop it. And he can't. And yet again, now it's not only can he not stop it, not only can he not continue to lie to cover shit up, now it's like, fuck, the detractors are closing in on me, but they can't win either. So he's literally willing to shoot himself in both legs just to divert attention away. You know what I'm saying? He'll do something really, really stupid to take attention off one thing and hope that people will bite on it and eat that and not go back to what's already on the table.
And then we're not going to go dig in further like he fears for us to go and dig up all of his chat members or something like that, like he expressed towards Noel. I mean, Phil's universe is being narrowed in on more and more as we've gone. It's kind of weird. We've been analyzing the vortex for so long, and you get to a point where you find the black hole, you see the black hole, you saw that he has a gotcha addiction, you saw his bank leaks, you saw his bankruptcy, his foreclosure, and again, you get people like you and I showing up and being like, hey, that's why I picked the condo background tonight for my webcam. It's because look at all the shit he bought for that place to be the gamer lair. Where is it now? It's gone. Allegedly. It's probably in the nook.
Yeah, it's all in that nook. To be honest,
some totes in the garage or some shit stacked up by the kitty litter.
Like, absolutely.
Like he can't let go of that person he was because he found success at failing. Somehow, over years, Phil has convinced himself that his failures over time are his success at this point.
It's all he has to grasp. It's all he really has to grasp onto, to be honest. Like, it's just like the narrative of, oh, I got the job at the helicopter company because people because people saw what I could bring to the table. They saw my worth. It has nothing to do with my father. And then that evolved over the years to what we got currently, where, oh, there was multiple departments that were fighting for me, and this, that, and the third. And that's how, they saw the talent and what I was bringing, the prestige, if you will, I was bringing to the table. When in actuality, bitch, you were doing customer service. Like, that's the reality. That's what your business degree got you. Customer service. Did they fly you out to Canada or whatever? I think you went on an excursion with your father
once
to go ahead and, like to see a client or some shit. I think that's what it was, And the ACE certification, it was something that was available to everybody. Let's be honest. It was more than likely available to anybody, and anybody could go, and anybody could put the time in.
That's just what it was. Like, you just go there and take the class, and then get the little cert that you put on your fridge for like a week, and then take it off, throw it in a garbage can.
Yeah, that's it. Because like,
all you're doing is running stopwatches or something for people. I mean, you're trying improvement. You know, he told himself, I was part of the program. I haven't seen much improvement from him at all.
That's it, exactly. Like you say that you have a certification in continuous improvement, and yet look at what you're doing now with your own business. Allegedly, right? Like this is a business for him, right? It's a fucking lame ass YouTube channel. Allegedly. Like, look at where's the continuous improvement at, bro? Like, out of 16 years, all the improvement come in the last year or two, last 8 months.
Yeah, since it's around with Kino. Oh, I've improved so much. People like me. I've had a resurgence. I'm feeling better about myself. And then we get I'm really depressed, guys. It's done with PvP, but I'm depressed. So,
dude, I love that. I love that little thing where he was like at the end of the Grill Phil segment. Well, PvP, I try all these different things. I want to go on. I want to do co-ops with people. People don't want to co-op with me. We'll talk about what happened last night though, because I like that. Oh boy, I like that. What you doing, Phil? What you doing?
What was it? 8 and 52.
Oh my god.
8 and 52, Mr. Old School Street Fighter. Who said it?
Oh my god.
Who said it? I want to hear from these people. I want to see names of all these people. Oh, Phil's good at fighters. Phil's all right. And then he goes up to his peers and gets clapped. People who've been in the game less than Phil. They knew who Phil was. To the point, well, I'll play sets with you, Phil. Yeah. And they remember him back in the day. He was pretty good at Super Turbo back in the day, right? And they get in here and be like, Phil, do you play fighting games anymore? Do you even play Street Fighter anymore?
Dude, the Street Fighter mythos, the fighting game mythos, let's say that. The fighting game mythos that some detractors, trolls, haters, and critics still defend. It's like anything else. The greatest lie that DSP ever told was he convinced people that he actually knew what the fuck he was doing. that he was actually somewhat competent. This bitch was mid at best. He was average at best. And I understand that people want to continue to like hold on to that for him because it's one of the few things he has left. But this is literally, I got you, bitch. This is what this shit is. Like, you're getting caught up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, DSP is going to have to give that shit up. And truth be told, he's already has. Because think about years ago, I made 4th place at Evo, yada, yada, yada. People like myself started attacking that shit, being like, no. Like, first off, it was this garbage port. That's bullshit. I mean, people did it before me, but you know what I mean? I really started to lead the charge on that. Like, it was a shitty-ass port. That's bullshit. What about the after tournament? What about the after tournament that Alex Valle held up in that hotel room?
The one and you got
punked into going up there and participating.
And then he got laughed at and left and went back to his room and cried and drank gin.
Yeah, like a bitch. Like a bitch.
Like, that's the lore behind this shit.
It literally is. And then for years, he tried to sit there and say, I was 4th place. Once that shit slowly started to diminish, then it was like, oh, well, I won a bunch of qualifiers. I placed highly in a bunch of qualifiers. Wait a second. You weren't saying that all those years previously. It was all about 4th place at Evo 2005.
Yeah.
Then as the years went on, then we started getting into qualifiers. Then we needed stuff to try to justify ourselves. Then we started getting to, I was a pivotal member of the community with tournament organizing and all this bullshit. And yada, yada, yada.
That was fun.
And it all just slowly started to diminish.
It was like Evo, but East.
Yeah, ECC. Yeah. Well,
nobody cared.
Evo East is where he beat Justin that year. Yeah. And even with the ECC situation, right? Well, like when he hosted that one year, but that one Evo East that he won when he beat Justin in Super Turbo, like you could call it cope on my part if you want, but truth be told, Justin was competing in how many different games that year?
4.
So what if out of the big 4 he loses Super Turbo to DSP? Who gives a shit?
I mean, he dominated Marvel 2, given.
Yeah, he dominated Marvel 2. He was in the top of.
I think he was tops of Alpha and what else was he tops of?
CVS 2.
CVS 2? Okay.
Yeah, I think he was in CVS 2 that year.
But yeah,
and I think he was in Third Strike that year. I don't know if he won them, but I knew he was competing though.
No, I don't think he won, but he was competitive. I think he was top 8 for
I don't think he won those. But yeah, he was competing like multiple games.
Which is hard enough to do.
Where DSP was hyper fixated on Super Turbo.
It's crazy. And we even got him running around pretending like he's hot shit. And he comes to this point. I don't even know who told him it was a good idea to play with other people. I don't know who got that into his brain. I think it might have been, whoever he's been talking to, Arturo or somebody in the FGC. Why don't you play games with other FGC dudes from back in the day? Probably, that's a good idea.
Okay.
And now we're here getting embarrassed by our own ways. And we can't do anything. We can't scream about the lag or anything like that. Well, we can, but it doesn't mean as much.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything because everybody else is dealing with something too.
It's just embarrassing as what it turned out to be.
Well, the Smooth Cat thing it is what it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're really dedicated and you love a game like DSP says he loves Super Turbo or fighting games, you knew that was going to happen. My thing is who told him to play VDO?
I don't know,
you know what I'm saying? What you doing?
I checked in at one point. I was like, who is there? Oh, shit, that's VDO.
VDO was a legend even like a decade ago. Like, even further back than that. But VDO is a legend. He is legit, like, he's literally the original low-tier god when it comes to low-tier characters in fighting games, right? Like, I've actually had the theory for a number of years that low-tier god just tried to copy VDO. Now, VDO isn't an asshole. He isn't a dick. He isn't abandoning his kids. But he used to move with a lot of swag and whatnot, with a lot of, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of style and shit. But he was a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how like people say about LTG, he's playing an act on stream or on his videos, but in real life he's like a cupcake and shit. Like, that dude is Hallmark cards and bubblegum with that guy. He's like super nice in real life and shit. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? From the people I've spoken to, that's what they say he's like. But VDO has just been a cool guy. He's a respectful dude. You respect him, he respects you. And, he's respected and loved, I would say, by a lot of people in the FGC community, let alone Marvel. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. So the fact that back in DSP's day, VDO was a legend then. So why the hell did DSP decide to go up there and play that guy?
I got no clue.
Like, you let that guy's rogue freestyle all over you. Like, what you doing?
If Phil would just be like, I'm not playing top tier. And then you go to top tier and just get worked for like 8 matches. And it's like, oh no, it's the connection. Oh no, it's this. I can't concentrate on that. I'm live streaming. It's just like a fountain of excuses. And these guys are just cleaning Phil up. Laughing, having a good time, enjoying the stream. Detractors coming in, dunking on Phil. It's been weird. It's been a weird week yet again here in the Vortex. I don't know where it's going, man. I don't know what's next for us here. Any predictions this year from you?
This year?
Yeah, now that we're a few months in.
Okay, so predictions. Holy shit. Well, I still stand on the idea that he's going to go back to Twitch once those new monetization things are implemented. Like you and I talked about that. I got a video coming out on that soon. Because if it's open for everybody, or at least gifted memberships and bits, like, there's no reason for him not to go back to Twitch. There's no reason not to go back under those circumstances. The only thing that he wouldn't have is the protection. But it don't matter because the detractors were running the prison over there now too. So what's going on Twitch is no different. Is no different than what's going on over here on YouTube.
It's silly.
So you know what I'm saying? So he might as well go back if he can fall under these new guidelines. As it pertains to like the content in general or PPP, let's start with the situation with PPP. We'll see what happens after WrestleMania. Like, we'll see if PPP can endure that.
WrestleMania lull. Oh,
yeah, bro.
Like, having to talk to Phil about that kind of stuff, it's gonna be.
I'm not even sure, bro. It's just, I'm thinking that at minimum they'll make it till WrestleMania, and we'll see what happens after that. As it pertains to DSP trying to get interviews or whatnot, unless, who can he find that doesn't know something about him, or who won't be able to absorb enough information that they won't be able to dunk on him once the interview happens? You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a guy named Captain Alex who might be able to do it. It's just, he's got to talk to one of his own dents. Nobody else is going to give him time for his narrative of, oh yeah, Detractor screwed me for the fucking 15th time again. I mean, I don't even know if James J. Lugo believes in Phil anymore. I don't even think that guy believes in himself.
Well, I mean, yeah, that dude's definitely dead weight.
His mom believes in him.
That dude's definitely dead weight. Oh, I'm not sure, man. It's literally a crapshoot. So like my main thing is he going to go back to Twitch? How long will this PPP alliance or whatever you want to call it? How long that lasts after WrestleMania? Does another big there'll always be another content creator that'll come in and give their opinion on them. That's just a given.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, this is gonna happen. I will say, I think that he will fall under 300,000 views a month though on YouTube. I think that's already we're not there yet. We're at like 400,000 plus.
I was gonna say
it's tanking.
We're close.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at any of his videos, it's like 400 views, 300 views,
yeah, bro,
200 views.
That's tough. You know,
it's like weeks later too, and it's just like, ugh. And his legacy is keeping him afloat in that kind of ideal
until it finally gets dismantled, and I think that's what you're going to see more of is the mythos around DSP getting dismantled, and the FGC is like, I'm really hoping that we'll see real strives this year of just that, of guys from the FGC coming out, playing him in a match or playing him in a series of matches. They're streaming on their respected platforms or whatever, and maybe they start to actually give some insight on what Phil was like back in the day. Did people really like him? Was he really misunderstood, or was he just an ass clown who deserves everything he has? Like, once more and more of that stuff gains momentum, especially in the FGC, then you're going to start seeing Ernesto start to kind of home in on some of that. And then through Ernesto, for good or bad, then DSP may have to have to answer some hard questions from people who actually knew him. Now he can't lie no more. Now it's like, oh, well, you know what, Phil, you said this, but that's not actually what happened. You know what I mean? That's it. You start getting into situations like that. But I think it's going to be difficult too, because a lot of these people grew up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at like Mike Watson. Like, that dude's like, yo, that dude's autistic. He's always been autistic. I don't have no time for that.
Yeah. And he kept stepping and just said, hey man, I just didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want to take part of it. I'm over it. I don't want to deal with him anymore. Like, a lot of people are that way. They've seen Phil and they've been interacting with him and they want no part of it because they understand where it always ends up. I think interaction with Phil on any basis is hard to deal with because you're probably going to get shit on at the end of it. You know, as well as I know.
Yeah.
Majority of the people don't come out of the vortex clean. It's a written fact. You know, just like death and taxes. You got doxes and fucking LARPs. You know, people are going to press people all the time for their shenanigans here. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. If you involved yourself in this place, you're going to have to deal with repercussions in some point. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Who's the best person to talk to Phil one-on-one?
Who's the best person to talk to Phil one-on-one?
Face-to-face.
Oh, face-to-face? Oh. We're talking a detractor?
Anybody.
The best person to talk to DSP face-to-face? Anybody. Oh, man, that opens up a mountain of shit. I want to say Max or Justin. If we're talking outside of the DSP detractor community, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Max or Justin because he's attacked them so many times over the years, and those guys have prospered so well. How does Darkside Phil even measure up to two men who actually have careers, who actually have all the trappings of success on multiple platforms that DSP wants, and also have real families, who actually have real perspective on what it's like doing, day to day, and dealing with the stresses of life that DSP claims that he deals with all the time. I think those are my two choices as it pertains to outside the DSP detractor community, at least at the moment. And if you're talking about within the community, though, To be honest with you, if he's not talking to, I mean, truth be told, face to face, he should be talking to either Tevin or Secret Limited.
Oh, we could get Gold
To be honest,
Secret Limited. That might be fun.
Like those are my votes. Those are the two people that he should talk to face to face. To be honest, and those are the two guys that DSP is most scared of.
I think outside the DSP community, like Vortex kind of situation, I would like Phil to sit face to face with his father. I think Daddy Dave,
shit,
and to sit down properly with his dad, to sit there and deal with everything, and his father having to say, "Hey, this is what your son's up against. This is what your son's doing," and show a practical man like David Burnell everything that his son's done. And have his just genuine reaction to him face to face with his kid would be
that's
a spectacle.
Oh my god, that would be that's like a literal dagger in the heart. Being that DSP has tried to co-op his father's success like on multiple occasions.
He tried to pretty much take his entire father's resume from LinkedIn and pretend like it was his own at one point.
Agreed.
Everything minus the service time.
but see, like, how do you see? That's one of those things that might actually frame it.
I just think, hey, will you talk to your son about his 10-year plan and bring both his parents?
Actually, to be honest with you, let me take that back. As much as I think that heart to heart with Dave would break him, I think he would lie to them as fluently as he lies to anybody else.
I mean, he's lied to him for years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But again, what would make him?
They don't have the influence of a third party. Phil's hand waved it all away. What if somebody comes and says, "Hey, this is what your son's been doing. This is his this. This is bankruptcy. This is this." Wouldn't you think David Burnell would have something to ask his son, or form some opinions that were not there for the first time? I mean, it'd be interesting. I think.
See, the thing is, but see, that gets tough because, like, okay, I'm going to use an example. This shit's egregious as hell, but flow with me on this. It's like the Casey Anthony situation. Like, you know how she's trying to make this resurgence. She wants to tell her story, yada, yada, yada. Okay. I do not condone anything that her parents did, but let me lay it out. Casey Anthony's parents were in the worst possible situation. Their daughter had insurmountable evidence against her that she killed that child, their grandchild. And yet they were in a situation where it's like, okay, if we go with the evidence, we lose our daughter and we lose our granddaughter. If we side with her, even though we know that she's guilty or we feel like she's guilty, we at least keep our daughter. And we at least keep our daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, it's like the whole situation with like bears and bear cubs and shit. Like, okay, you lose one, but you may have more down the line. I know that's really, really callous, but just hear me out. If you look at the situation they were in, it's like, shit. If we go ahead and if we side with everybody else, because trust me, her father especially, he had to have known that, wait a second, there's way too much evidence against her, and there's no way that they can wave this shit off. If you've already lost the granddaughter. You know what I'm saying? As brutal as this is going to sound, you've already lost that child, the grandchild. Is it really worth losing your daughter too? You know what I'm saying? With Dave and Linda, it's kind of like he's a disappointment. He's a disgrace. DSP or Phil Burnell is all these different things, but he's still our child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so like, it's a Linda argument. You know, like, hey, they still my son. Like, I still care about my child. And I can understand that to a degree, but, like, at certain points, people will just go off on a tangent and be like, hey, man, like, I get it. My child's been doing some heinous stuff and got caught on this, but they're a good person still. They'll just say it and deflect it and just roll with it and pretend like it doesn't exist. And it's a hard thing to swallow for a lot of people. I think it would be a captivating thing to lay it all out there for those two, either his parents or just his father, and have him deal with it. But I also
agree.
If I had to pick somebody from the Vortex to come and really dig into Phil, I would probably want to bring John Rambo back. And the only reason I say that is because of it'd be the same thing about with like bringing Panda Lee back. These people have moved on past Phil and have been successful growing as individuals.
Right.
Since they've left the vortex. And I would just like to see what they figured if Phil has either grown or has receded as a person since they've known him into that gap.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. First thing, as it pertains to let me answer Steel real fast. Seal. Sure. Sorry. I agree with you 100% on anybody who murders a child goes into the deepest depths of hell. And truth be told, Casey Anthony's parents are going to be right there with her. Because they know that she, like, what she did and whatnot. And they sided with the devil they know. So they didn't lose her in the long run. So absolutely. Like, they deserve to, all three of them deserve to go to hell for that. As it pertains to gamer face gaming, what about Panda? Panda, the problem is Panda doesn't have the appeal that she once had under the circumstances that she's not going to talk. Like, it's very clear at this point that she's not going to speak up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard rumors and innuendo that there was talks of up to like 10 grand for her to tell her story, and each and every time she waved that shit off. And she had a purge of her Instagram a couple of times. So she's as out as possible. And even that, like, if she was to come back and whatnot, would she really answer the questions that some of us have? Is she willing to dig deep and open up old wounds and basically reopen old scars and go back to that? I don't think so. I don't think there's any amount of money that's going to bring her to the table, and whatever piece that she's currently has, she's okay with that. Like, stomping Phil into the dirt is, she's not. I don't think she's angry anymore. If that makes any sense, I don't think she's angry anymore. As it pertains to John or anybody from that Connecticut crew that wasn't directly in that brotherhood that him, John, Howard, Scott, and all those guys had, I would assume that they've all moved on as well, because I bet you anything there's a lot of hurt over the situation with Scott and the situation with T. At the same time, you can't live for the dead. You have to kind of just continue to move forward in life. And I think that's the same thing there. I don't think it's really an act of mercy that some of these people won't speak against DSP. It's just let dead dogs lie. You know what I mean? And DSP, for all intents and purposes, is dead to them. I'm sure that they're not completely ignorant to what goes on with DSP on a day-to-day basis. Well, not day-to-day, but what goes on with him. And it's better to just leave it alone. He's made the hell of his. He's made that, or laid down the groundwork for a hellscape of his own making. There's no need to contribute to it. He's done a great job of it himself.
He's been his own worst detractor for years, and it's been amazing, I think that's one thing that you should never forget in the Vortex, is Phil's always going to be his own worst enemy. Period. He's always screwed himself over, be it financially, be it, community adjacent, be it who he interacts with or how he interacts with people. He's always been able to screw himself over and then blame others for it. He's the kind of guy who gets mad about people drinking his beer at the party and then wakes up and all the beer's gone. And they're like, dude, you drank your own beer. Nobody stopped you. Why would we? You did it to yourself. and it's that's what it is. And it's tried and true just about anything else. Just like Phil will run you over if he doesn't have a use for you. You are on to the next bus. Iron Chef Sakai, Lucky Gremlin recently. If you would serve a purpose to Phil, you are gone from his life. As far removed as he can be, but still. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up because I worked a lovely 6-day work week this week. And I had a bunch of fun with this chill stream. Is there anything you're working on?
Like I said, the video that's coming out tomorrow, like I said, I did that right after the day after the whole grill fill thing. So there's that. I might take like a day or two off, and then I might try to stream next week.
Ooh.
And then, like I said, I'm working on some gaming stuff or whatnot, and I'm trying to get these assets together for that project that I was telling you about. And other than that, man, just like kind of just enjoying my time and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because you've been
just
on a
enjoying, just
you've
just
been on one.
Treating life the way it is.
It's been fun. It's been fun to watch you work, show up, do your TED Talks when you can. I like to spit the grease or whatever. You'll find a name later for it. I'm sure you will. Chewing the fat, whatever you want to go with.
Yeah.
but it's one of those things. Do you want to tell people about our upcoming project? Or do we want to let it simmer longer before even?
I might let it simmer longer because, as it pertains to the subject at hand, he is, he's taking some stiff shots at people, and for very good reason. In some cases, he's taking some stiff shots as the people are coming out to his defense, but some people are being like, some people are also coming out in opposition of him. So I feel like the story, some of what people really think of him will come out as time goes on, whether for good or bad. And I'd like to incorporate that into what we're doing.
Okay.
Before I really speak on that. And then, like I said, I'll be leading my campaign into Girl World in a minute. So.
Ooh, that should be very entertaining. Girl World of interesting landscape money Boogie actually has. But we'll see. I think Becky's interested in doing her own show and showing worth to Keem, who she's literally borrowed. That was a weird little blip. Now it says no drop frame. See, that's a liar. See, you're lying to me, OBS. I have 0 drop. Now we got more drop frames. So I guess that's a technical call out. We're leaving.